because my wife's going to be here in an hour.
In an hour?
Yeah.
Dude, you should have told me that before I fucked around.
It's all right. It's all good, mate. We're talking very short, sharp, choppy sentences.
Here we go then.
Here we go.
Rightio. Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Are we filming?
Yeah, the whole time.
Fuck off.
We're just going to put this on the back end.
Okay, back on.
Rightio. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jake Kerr. This is Troy Bottegal. This is a Black Ink podcast, and this is actually our second attempt. You could probably call this like a fourth or fifth attempt at this podcast with all the bloody rain checks and postponing and whatnot. But we made it, and today we are proudly sponsored or supported by Froth in Bunbury. So, a quick cheers to Froth. You're going to go straight out of the growler or what? Cheers to Froth. I am drinking the alcoholic ginger beer, which is a 3.5% ginger beer, which is fucking beautiful.
Is it?
It is.
You like that though?
I do.
Because you got a sweet tooth.
I found that out last time. I thought I was on the fence, and then I realised, like, no.
You stopped talking at one stage. Well, I'm drinking a 5.2% stout. Fantastic stout out of the brand new growler from Froth, and it is everything you want in a stout. It's smoky. It's got some leather about it. It's got some really nice subtle sweetness to it, and it's got a bit of toast as well. It's just the perfect stout. One of the great stouts.
What is a growler? What's the idea behind a growler?
I think they named it after a woman's.
Of course they did.
In the 70s. But that's another story.
That's such a cool. I was saying to you before we started recording, like, this is something I want in the background, like in my room in the background.
Maybe you can get a blow up one made.
Oh yeah. I can put that with my collection of things that I can blow up and enjoy.
Yeah, useless things in the corner. So, yeah. Jake, what are we talking about today?
Dude, I feel like we exhausted all the shit we shouldn't talk about in the last podcast.
I'm glad.
Anything we talk about from here is a win.
It was nasty.
Yeah. It was one of those ones, I was having so much fun in it that I was like, oh, I'll have to cut some stuff out of this. So we'll just shoot from the hip and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
And then we both came to a collective decision of like, you know what? Let's do it all again. So there's nothing that we have to cut out.
Yeah. There was some funny stuff though.
There's some funny stuff, and I think there was some stuff that I felt passionate about that I didn't realise because I hadn't spoken with someone of your caliber, your experience.
Yeah, thanks.
You know, I think actually,
I'll take experience. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, no, it's you take experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, because you're a sensible, progressive person for your age. I don't mean your age in a negative way.
No.
I mean for the generation that you represent, I feel like I can have a very fair and listened to conversation. You know, and one thing we touched on before was negative things in your life. And there's a certain amount, like, there's a lot of negative things in your life. Cigarettes, fucking vapes, bad food, sugar, porn, drugs. You know what I mean? It goes on and on.
And they're all fantastic. Every one of those fingers is really fun if you do them once a month.
Yeah.
Like porn once a month. Like,
yeah.
That's nice. But, you get stuck in any of that stuff. It's just
100%. And they're all things that once you're stuck there, you're stuck there. You know, like, it's fun. I'm currently in the midst, again, of battling with nicotine addiction.
Oh.
Like, it's bullshit, you know? But it's one of those things where I go, the hooks of the addiction and nicotine are such that you can't really play games with them. If you're doing it, you're doing it.
Yeah.
And if you're not, you're not. And the way I do it is, like, it's about 1 to 1.5, 2 cigarettes a week. And usually I have them in a 12-hour period on the weekend. You know?
Yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong with that, though, Jake.
There's nothing wrong with that until you're thinking about it Tuesday morning and you're wondering why it seems like the world's ending every Tuesday morning for some reason.
Yeah.
You know?
Good. Obviously, you're smoking good quality tobacco.
Yeah, of course.
Because there's, that pesticide-ridden stuff that they put through everything, right? But if you go to, say, Europe, there's organic, pesticide-free tobacco.
Getting that in Australia is a bloody... Normally, like, I got mates in Melbourne that go to tobacconists, and they buy like, Ziploc bag under the counter tobacco.
You're joking?
Yeah, and it's like fully organic.
So good.
Yeah. Super cool, but also like, where the fuck do I find that in Bunbury?
Don't people grow it in Bunbury?
Tobacco?
Yeah.
I know my mate's mum used to grow it, but it, like, I don't know. Because tobacco's like a big leaf, isn't it, that they shred down?
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know much about the process?
They dry it.
They dry it and they cut it up.
They cut it up,
Yeah.
and then they smoke it. Like it's, I think the big tobacco companies are giving it a pretty bad rap, like a pretty bad thing. Like the tobacco anti-smoking lobby try to prosecute Peter Jackson, and Peter Jackson threw so many lawyers at them, and they locked up all their archives, so they couldn't come at them.
Yeah.
And what if you've ever looked at an old cigarette, an older style cigarette, there's lines in the paper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those lines are where all the chemicals are.
Oh, that's actually dousing the paper.
Yeah. So as you smoke it, the chemicals come in. So there's all types of chemicals.
Yeah.
Like cocaine, all that stuff soaked into the paper.
Wow.
So that makes it burn. So the saltpeter makes it burn faster. If you've seen a cigarette burn, it burns like in stages, but fucking fast.
Yeah.
So these fuckers, pardon my language, we're here.
We're
swearing.
here. Yeah.
These people have been what's the word for it? Fucking with the tobacco.
Stooging us, yeah.
Yeah. Tobacco's tobacco.
Yeah.
We've smoked it out of pipes, out of everything, all our lives,
Yeah.
from millennia.
Yeah.
And they won't let us smoke it.
Yeah.
Because these fuckers have made it bad. Sorry.
Monopolize the game. In one way, it's like I feel it like this is the problem. Like I feel like it's terrible, but bro, I'm a fucking example of capitalism.
Yeah.
I was in a caravan 2 years ago. Like you can't be upset at that and be doing what I'm doing. Bootstrap and whatever you want. The point is, it's like you put in more effort, you make more money, you get a better lifestyle. If my product becomes so supreme that I monopolize the market and I am the only option, then you'll follow my rules.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? But
Yeah.
the acquisition of power, especially when you talk about it like that, is only really relevant to other people who try and acquire power and understand what the actual thing that you're doing is and how your ethics roll into it. It's a complete other conversation. But the point is, like, if I'm trying to monopolize the t-shirt market in Bunbury, which everyone applauds you on the way up,
Yeah.
but then you get to the top and now you've got all this control. Like, whoa. It's like, well,
Yeah.
you can also go start a t-shirt business.
Yeah.
You can also go, I don't know if you can legally grow your own tobacco because we're so far down that track
Yeah.
that fill in the blank.
But can you imagine, right? Sorry to interrupt you. But can you imagine, like, not being able to grow your own tobacco?
I can imagine not being able to grow your own weed.
Well, yeah. Well, you can now, though, can't you?
Can you? I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't looked into it either. I mean, people are.
No, it's if you have under 2 in an uncontrolled environment. This is all for entertainment purposes. I don't know. This is a comical podcast. Go fuck yourself.
Disclaimer.
But I think the law is you get something that sticks on you, like it's it's like an offence that is like a proper offence if you have more than 2 plants.
Yeah.
And also if they're in a controlled environment. So if you've got 2 plants in the backyard and they're just growing, I think it's a fine, but it's not like an offence.
Yeah.
And you have to get rid of them.
Yeah.
But in the ACT, you can legally have 2 plants and up to an ounce of recreational marijuana.
Yeah.
On the same island that we live on.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
But
good.
That's the ACT. It's full of politicians,
Yeah,
right?
it's only the people who make the rules are allowed those rules.
Yeah. And they don't have to be vaccinated either.
No, fuck
Oh,
no.
we're there on the V word again. Let's not go there.
Yeah, gone.
Gone.
Not even going to appear on
Edit
bloody
that.
YouTube anymore.
Yeah.
There's all these AIs that predict captions and shit for you. I just want the one that bleeps all the words that get us taken off YouTube out for me.
Well, Joe Rogan will come up with an app.
Yeah.
And Kelly Slater, he'll come up with an app too.
Was he an app guy, is he?
Oh, he's an international famous surfer. You've heard of Kelly Slater?
Oh, I thought he was a porn star. Yeah, I know who Kelly Slater is.
Probably was at some stage.
Yeah.
Well, whose wife hasn't masturbated to Kelly Slater? I mean, let's be serious. I mean, are we being serious here?
Are you? I don't know if you're dropping the veil in your family situation or if you're genuinely asking.
No, my wife's the only
My
one
wife
that doesn't.
does not
No.
fucking. She doesn't even know who Kelly is.
Yeah, that's actually a form of what's the word for it? When you stop someone from, you make it not.
Gaslighting?
No, when you make it not in a society, it's called what? When you stop someone from learning about
Oppressive.
something. Yeah, so there's a word. I've forgotten the word.
Socio-oppression. I made that one up for you.
That's good. That's good. While we're at it, my grandmother could use that. Oh, can I put it warm my feet? I'm not a cushion guy. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I'm so well built.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
look, man, I'm a bit of a rig.
You built like 3/4 of a brick shit house, eh?
3/4.
Yeah.
I've dropped. I've dropped in size. What's the word when you stop you limit knowledge of something?
Repress.
Yeah, there's a word.
I said,
Repress is good.
Yeah, when you I'm just thinking of like normal words now, like restrict or abstain or.
That's what happened when you do podcasts on a Monday too, by the way.
Bro, this is number 2 for the day. It's not
Jesus
even Monday.
Christ.
It's Tuesday.
You should be. Fuck. There we go.
Let's go. Let's
Jesus.
go. Cheers to that.
Here's to
You need to fucking.
Oh, that's your stout, by the way.
Yeah, I'll get to it after I finish this.
You're not going to be able to taste the stout after you drink that bloody that.
That's the point.
That's a really good. What is that again?
Chaser.
No, that's
Ginger beer.
Yeah, you've critiqued that, haven't you?
Oh, review.
Have you reviewed that?
No, I haven't reviewed it. My coffee reviews, they're getting.
I know.
I don't know what I started here. Like, I'm getting to the point now where I've got Perth cafes reaching out and saying, "Hey, yeah,
Yeah.
you feel bad about fucking
warming up, mate.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Perth cafes.
Perth cafes reach out saying, "Oh, can you come and review our coffee?" I'm like, dude, this is all part of a warm-up campaign for my winter release. This has got
Mate.
nothing to do with coffee. I hope you know that.
Oh, yeah. Why don't you though? Have you thought about kind of getting the coffee on the critiques on the road?
Right.
Because they're really good.
Right before we started, I said, "How much do I do?" Because as it turns out, whatever I touch, I'm good at problem solving and learning.
Yeah. Don't touch me then.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm good at figuring things out.
Yeah.
I do a coffee review. The first one's shaky, the second one's kinda, the third one it's like, oh cool, here's a structure, here's a format, he follows it, I know what to expect,
Yeah.
here's the criteria, and then I repeat it. And every time it gets a little bit better, I sharpen the sword, and then you go, cool, now I'm a review guy. Dude, I've done fucking 6 reviews.
I've seen those reviews though. They're really good.
But
And they're dash cams.
yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, just mount on my phone mount in the car.
Yeah, and the good thing about those reviews, the only thing negative about it is the number. Everything else is positive. Like, the service, I love them. Your reviews, I have never seen a review like that.
It's because, I'm assuming, like, I've had a coffee van. So I've made coffee, I've made thousands of coffees, I have trustability.
Yeah.
The second thing is I already talk to the camera. So I know how to talk to the camera. I know what's dead air. I know what's valuable. I know what's not valuable. And the third thing is I've also been a business owner. So I'm not trying to shit on your business. I'm trying to, if I'm going to give you a low score, I have to justify it. And if I'm going to go as far as giving you a low score, it's like I have to say it with confidence. I have to say this is what it is. And most of the time I'm going to save you somewhere else.
Yeah.
And don't forget the cleanse palette, the palette cleanse that I did when I went to McDonald's, and I was like, and this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Because it is. And I knew it was going to be bullshit before I got it. And I was true to how it tasted. It was bullshit.
I was going to bring up McDonald's in Trindale. Wasn't the Flash one?
No, it's Eaton.
They
don't clean the group head, dude.
No.
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 So they run a shot, then they tap it out, and they just put more grounds in there. So you're essentially
they don't wipe it.
No. So you're running hot water through already,
Nasty.
and the problem is like it's not the top, it's the bottom. So you're caking on more bottom, until you've just got like the past 12 coffees that you've had, or since the last time it was clean, passing through there.
Yeah.
That's why it tastes like dish soap.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's talk about coffee for a minute.
You want to go there?
Yeah, I've made 250 to 300 coffees a day myself.
Yeah.
And so we can talk.
Yeah, you probably have more experience than me then.
No, I didn't like that day.
Oh, no?
Yeah. No, I didn't like the 300 coffee day.
Yeah.
I like your 100 coffee day, having a chat and kind of,
100 coffees usually like one person, 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah. So I learned to make coffee from a guy in Cottesloe, like this crazy Italian bloke.
Yeah.
And he was like three group heads.
Yeah.
Just talking to the customers. Yeah. Taking the orders himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With a girl helping him to, and so he was this beast, right? So I said, look, can you teach me how to make coffee? So he taught me about, he's an Italian guy, right? He said, do you use low fat milk? He said, fuck that. I just put a bit of water in it.
Yeah.
This is a guy that just does not fucking...
He's purist.
Yeah, but he plays to his own fiddle too. So he taught me about the course of the grind.
The grind.
So it's better to grind coarse and to pack harder.
Yeah.
And do a double
fine. Yeah.
a double pack, like you grind coarse, pack, and then coarse again, then pack again.
Yeah.
So you've got this kind of double pack.
Yeah.
So all that kind of interesting stuff.
We've just gone through a whole process with Homegirl's machine actually, because she's got a Smeg just auto espresso machine. Auto in that you still have a group head and a handle, and you like have to, put the grind in, tamp it, put it in and everything, but it's only got like an auto single or an auto double. So the timing and the amount is all fixed.
Okay.
So you adjust everything else around that. Because obviously you've got like 4 things you can adjust, and you adjust them all to the coffee, to the machine, to what you're trying to get the cup that you want.
Yeah.
So with hers, we had to go through this whole thing where like all of a sudden it just wasn't getting pressure. So I'm Googling it and figuring it all out. And I realized like, oh, this pressure solenoid in front of the pump is gone.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So I've taken it to a coffee machine mechanic. Shout out Dwayne from Bunbury Coffee Machine Servicing and Repairs, I think he's called. Hit him up on Facebook. He's a good dude. And he's like, bro, there's nothing wrong with your machine. Come pick it up.
Yeah. I love Bunbury coffee machines, by the way. My
Yeah.
daughter's doing a barista course tomorrow there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they were my coffee machine suppliers and bean suppliers while I had my coffee van.
Unknown, relatively unknown in Bunbury, but they make a fucking great coffee too.
Crazy, eh? So I go around there and he shows me with a single, with a double. It's like everything's all good. Take it home. The problem comes back. I'm like, dickhead. I look at what she's using. She changed the coffee. So she's changed the coffee and all these problems have started. I've come in, started problem solving. I'm like, oh, we're having this problem. Done the whole whip round to realise, oh, let's use this old coffee at the back that we know works. And sure enough, it was a grind problem.
Grinder.
Grind error.
How am I looking? Yeah, I like this beanie.
Yeah, you happy with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's...
I'm a beanie guy. I mean, I've come here with this, which is, but it feels like a cat's trying to...
Maybe it's a boy's beanie. To be honest with you, I would never pick that up off the shelf. That is so far away from what I'd ever wear.
But they're onto beanies, right? The quality of beanies just generally available in and around the place.
The gap between like what you buy at a surf shop and like a thin chelate beanie from like Kathmandu, it's huge.
Yeah. The only problem with Kathmandu is that their colours can be
boring.
I've had one Kathmandu beanie. It was just fucking crazy. I've got a photo of it somewhere. It's like kind of really nice, like a topaz, like a really brilliant bright blue.
Yeah.
And then a purple, and then a white, and then back, and
just
thin little stripes like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. And I wore it everywhere until it died. It just died. I mean, I think my hair oil just fucked it.
That's a real surfy beanie though.
What?
Like that speck of like the stripe. I mean, even the blue, white, and light blue in that. That's a very surfy beanie.
And just a nice little. It's not too. You get these skull caps that look like Pope's hats. You know, and they just pop off.
Yeah.
And just the ones that are just long enough without the fold up. Because I'm not a fold up guy.
Yeah, true.
You're a fold up guy.
I love the fold up. I wear that off the top of my ears though.
You're a good looking guy. You're
I'm
young.
like a 9 out of 10.
Good looking. Yeah.
It's silly.
I go 9.
One of my eyes is lower than the other, which kind of puts me off.
Jesus
Other
Christ.
than that, the smile's fucking.
Yeah, I reckon you're the next Ragnar. I reckon they're going to do it again.
Ragnar.
And they're going to pick you up.
You reckon?
You just got to don't walk around fucking certain parts of Switzerland and or Sweden and you'll be okay. You'll miss that boat.
What do you mean?
Well, you look a bit Ragnar-ish.
Yeah. That's
and
funny.
Ragnar's he's a bit washed up. He's doing beer now, right? He's got his own beer label. So
true.
he's got a gut.
Yeah.
Sorry, Travis Fimmel is his name.
Yeah, he came round here recently, didn't he?
He was in Busselton,
Yeah.
Dunsborough, at my mate's bottle shop.
Yeah.
And chicks are just walking in going, fuck off.
Yeah, what is
I've been
happening?
masturbating to you quite recently, and you turn up in here.
He's got the blue eyes though, eh?
Ah, he's got the pack. He's got a bit of a gut though. He's let himself go a little bit, but he's probably sick of getting laid.
Yeah.
Truth be told.
You ever get the point where you're like, fuck, I'm over pussy, eh?
Yeah. It happens when you're 80 or when you're him.
Yeah, well, apparently it didn't happen to Homeboy the other day with his fucking...
Who's that in?
No, a dude that, he's like 70 something and he got that chick pregnant, the 29-year-old, the Godfather. What's his name? Come on.
Oh, Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro did, and the other one.
Al Pacino.
Yeah.
Jeez. But you only have to spill your beans into a cup and then kind of get a funnel if you
Right,
want to.
imagine he doesn't have it. He's not filling up a cup full of beans, if you know what I mean.
No, he'd be smearing at the moment. Massaging it in. You know what I'm talking about.
Go stand upside down for a while as well.
Yeah. So it's a handstand, right?
And him kind of jiggle.
And him kind of got it on his Okay.
Yeah, he went too far though.
Either way. Well, I thought this was a podcast. We went too far.
Yeah, no, that was the last.
Sorry about that, Pete. And just by the way, another plug for Froth Brewery. Amazing hazy pale ale. We're just about to get into that soon.
Do we get another
If
ginger
I can get
beer?
you away from ginger beer. If I can get you... No, I didn't. Because you've got a ginger beer fetish.
No.
You're
Dude,
so
the man
addicted.
doesn't
Your
drink, and then I
personality.
have a couple of ginger beers, and now I'm like, I got a fetish.
Well, have a taste of the stout. Go on,
I'll get that. I'll finish this. And then
But Pete's sitting at home watching this podcast going, well, I'm supporting this. I've
Get
put
to the
big money
stout,
into
please.
this.
Yeah.
Get to the
I
stout.
invested a bloody t-shirt and a hat into this kid. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, let's talk about the hat. Only you could make that hat look good.
corduroy hat.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, as a like this is the thing, as a clothing decorator, I find myself like immediately like, oh, that's a heat press. You know, it's probably a full cotton shirt. I could do that. I couldn't do that. Like, I look at this. This is a fucking great hat. This is not just a.
Do you like that?
Yeah, because it's a nice hat. This is an AS cord hat, corduroy, fits well, and like being AS, you know, it's gonna be, it's got a life to it. Same as that beanie. So same as all my jumpers and all the rest. It's just good.
AS.
And then the embroidered patch has been sewn on.
Yeah.
It's like it's a nice quality, fucking cool hat.
Yeah, and can I have a couple? Yeah, I think Peter from Froth got some real kind of like Art Deco credibility too, you know.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny. Like you can have a killer. Well, who else did it?
What the corduroy cap in particular?
The wild. What is it? Wild Brewing Co.
Wild Hop.
Everyone has their fucking jumpers.
Yeah, and the beanies aren't bad either.
I see the jumpers everywhere though.
Oh, the Wild Hop? Yeah. From down south.
The part that pisses me off is that it's not a very good looking jumper. Like nothing against them. Like I fuck with it. It's cool, but it's not like it's an awesome jumper. You're like, oh, that makes sense. Everyone would want that.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a standard jumper with their name on it.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether they're running like a buy 2 drinks get a jumper for free deal or something, but every motherfucker has one of those jumpers. You know?
Yeah. Look, honestly, they're beanies because they're a single beanie, no fold up.
Yeah.
No offense to fold up beanies. You're gonna go, aren't you? You're gonna go the stout.
Bro, I know what I'm doing. I'm not fucking around.
So Froth have just brought out these growlers, for want of a better term. I think they're a flagon as well. Just out today, the first time I've seen them, and don't quote me, $30, $30, including the bottle, which is really cool, and whatever you get in it, and then you go back and get the refill, you know, for $2 a refill. Sorry Pete. But yeah, great brewery, great people, the food is amazing at Froth, by the way. It's one of those things that it's almost like a 4-star English pub grub meal, but with so much subtlety and so much. The food's amazing. Let's just leave it at that.
Fuck yeah, I love the colour.
Yeah, it's like looking at the devil.
Dude, yeah, it's like you're gonna have a fucking night tonight. Are you ready?
I'm a stout guy. I love it because it's a very relaxing alcohol. A stout. It's like they feed it to pregnant mothers if you need to get relaxed back in the day. Yeah. What do you want to talk about, mate?
They used to give cocaine to people who were dying as well. How do I get in that
How
list?
how do you fake a death certificate?
How close to dying do I need to be before I qualify?
Let's talk about that. I bought some seeds on the alternative web.
On the dark web.
I bought some Coke seeds.
Oh, really? Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, and I can't find anyone to grow it because you got to grow it at altitude. So I bought 12. I've got none left.
Yeah.
But I gave it to one guy. He said he was a horticulturalist. And then he went to South Africa and didn't come back. And I'm like, how committed are you?
Well, he sounds like a horticulturalist.
Yeah. But can you imagine? They've banned the seeds and the leaves of this product, of this plant.
I think it gives you some sort of psychoactive high if you refine it and put it through a process and then blow it into someone's asshole.
Yeah, no, I haven't looked into that part.
Dude, I haven't partied that hard yet, but it's on the list.
Gosh.
It's on the list. It's just all about finding the fucking comrades to do it with.
Yeah, your anus is very important.
Yeah. No shit.
My health guru suns his ass for 30 seconds a day because serious.
Yeah.
Because he reckons that 30 seconds of sunlight on your anus, anus, as Borat calls it,
yeah,
is equivalent to 8 hours good sunlight exposure.
What's he doing with the rest of the day then?
He just hangs out and he's done enough.
He's just I can go back to bed now if I need to.
Yeah. He's
Who did the research though?
I wouldn't have a clue.
You know what I mean? Like,
oh, sorry.
I've got heaps of questions now.
Come on, mate. This is not just your show.
What did you say his what was his title? He's a health guru.
His tag on Instagram is certified health nut.
Does he have the certificate or is that just like a?
It's a tag.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's fucking cool though. He's 56 and
he's got the flexibility to sun his asshole for 30 seconds a day.
You can see him in the shot. There's his ankle there and there's an ankle there.
And he's just smiling, looking at the camera, holding the froth growler.
Yeah. I don't know why. If he puts it around the other side, it becomes something else, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that becomes like a fucking, you go on a list if you do it the other way around.
It's a good list though to be on.
Yeah, well, your only mates are the other people on the list.
I told you stout was good, didn't I?
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's quite a, it's like a characteristic bitterness to it. It's not like a yuck bitter. It's like I can tell that there's a process behind this bitterness. Where I feel like a lot of beers, it feels like mass-produced bitter. You know what I mean? Kind of in the same way that like Coca-Cola just feels like mass-produced refined sugar. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel special. Like a Dr. Pepper feels special. A Coca-Cola is like, yeah, this is bad.
Yeah.
You know?
So Dr. Pepper you like?
100%.
What's so good about Dr. Pepper?
I think Dr. Pepper is good if you got big gaps between it.
Between your teeth?
Between
drinking it.
Drinking it. Otherwise you end up with big gaps between your teeth.
Yeah, you're like missing teeth.
Yeah. But no, I think the thing about Dr. Pepper is like it's in the category of soft drink and it's so far away from what a typical soft drink is that I just like, you're like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I didn't realise this was like...
It's got something going on. It's got molasses going on and stuff. Has it got some
It almost
some
could
notes?
be like a date flavour or a... yeah, it's got a weird flavour to it because not cherry, because you can get cherry Dr. Pepper and that tastes like cherry Dr. Pepper, but it definitely tastes like there's something going on where you're like, it's in that like golden syrup date.
Yeah.
You know, like it tastes like a natural sugar that shouldn't exist. You ever had a date that's so good that you have it and you're like, oh, this doesn't make sense?
Yeah.
Like dates that are like that.
Yeah.
That's very similar.
But they're
to Dr. Pepper.
they're dried, obviously, dates, but they're slightly kind of aged as well.
That's right.
That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, and like room temperature. So they're like, as soon as you put them in your mouth, you can't handle them too much. They start like getting goopy. You put them in your mouth, and you're like, what the fuck? How's this natural?
Yeah, and that's going back to kind of like artisanal made stuff. Like, you know, I make my own sauerkraut.
Yeah.
I gravel-axe salmon. I'm a bit of a foodie.
I don't even know what the last three words you said. Gravel-axe salmon.
Oh, gravel-axe. Gravel-axe is Nordic for grav, meaning buried.
Right.
Grav.
Yeah.
And lax is salmon, fish.
Right.
So what they used to do, they used to salt their fish and then bury it. And they bury it for like, you know, periods up from 3 to 2 weeks. So that it'd cure the salmon.
Right.
And so gravel-axe salmon, it's pretty well known if you're a foodie.
It's more of a fucking dude. It's so far away. What do you do with it once it's cured? You just have it.
Oh, you slice it raw. It's essentially still raw, but there's a certain. If it's only 3 days old, there's a certain. It's just cured, which is it's salted and kills the outside bacteria, and it's still like sashimi, but you put vodka, good salt, lemon rind, and some kind of herb.
Yeah. Okay.
The Nordics, the Swedish version is they use dill.
Yep.
And it gives it that little bit of, and it's beautiful. It's like
interesting.
It's like salmon salami.
Yeah.
You know, but and if you bury it for more than 3 days and it goes for 2 weeks, you get this kind of almost probiotic effect where it's kind of like eating your gut health.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
What do you do for gut health, by the way? What's your routine?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. My gut health is a bit out at the moment.
Right.
But I'm getting older, so you've got to constantly keep.
You're almost like proactive about it rather than just kind of, you know, at the moment I can get away with not really paying attention. If something fucks up, you're like, fix it, get back to normal.
Your young gut.
Yeah.
So I fast. So if my gut's a bit out of kilter, I'll fast for like 7 days, no food, and then I'll come back with softly with a gut happy juice, like with beetroot juice and that kind of thing. So as you get older, you can mask stuff with pharmaceuticals, anti-inflammatories, you know, and acids and all that kind of stuff. But if you like to eat food, sometimes you're naughty and you'll eat this weird combination of foods, and your gut will go out over the festive season.
Yeah.
So you go, how am I going to put my gut back into you know, being okay again? So you just stop eating.
Yeah.
You know.
Give everything a chance to recalibrate, and kind of start from scratch.
Yeah, and then what you do, you introduce just basic like a prebiotic, which is like mashed sweet potato, which is fibrous, and it's a great place for if you eat sweet potato and with sauerkraut, the fiber in sweet potato is a great place for the bacteria in sauerkraut to grow and juice,
okay.
you know? And then But, people just kind of blaze on. Like, oh, fuck, Jewfish, meat, pizza, bread, and they wonder why the fuck they're starting to swallow pills like they're going out of fashion because they're stuck and they got the gut out to here.
Yeah.
And I'm naughty. Like, I like to have a rollie.
Yeah.
Every now and then I like to have, 15 beers on a week, on a bad week.
Yeah.
And, so you've got to stop every now and then if you get older.
I think, everything in moderation, including moderation, is a very good tenet to live by, I think. It's like, gives you... Because this is the thing, like I said, we're going back to the start. There's bad shit in life that you're going to do. You're going to do it. It doesn't matter, Sometimes you're even going to speed in your car and not use your indicator. There's bad shit in life that you're going to do, but I think it's about actualizing the human experience and being able to go like, yes, there are things in my life that I know are bad. I shouldn't be smoking this cigarette. I shouldn't be having this KFC. But I'm going to let myself do it on this one occasion. And I remember I used to have, when I was back in my fucking professional speed skating days, I had this really smart coach.
Yeah.
And she was very smart at giving life advice that was also applicable to skating. And she said, nothing is too bad as long as you enjoy it in that moment. Like, nothing is bad for you as long as in that moment when you're having it, assuming the moderation clause has been met. But you go, right, I haven't had KFC for a month, I'm going to have KFC. When you get the KFC and you smell it and you get home, if every part of you is like, I'm all but naked right now enjoying this KFC, it's worth it. Yeah. But if you're there going like, this literally smells like shit, and like, I worked this up for a month and you get it and it's like, and it tastes like this, and then you get sore guts afterwards, it's like, if it was worth it.
Yeah, 100%.
Here, you know if it was worth it. But if you're there kind of second guessing, it's like, it's just easy, don't do this again.
And the gut has an intelligence of its own, right?
Well, that's where all the intelligence starts, is in your gut.
Yeah.
Your gut just controls everything.
And therefore the gut feeling.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Oh, that's the word I think of it. Censorship.
Oh, yeah.
Remember we were talking
Your
about
description makes sense now. Yeah.
Not letting everybody know and cutting out all a lot of the things that you don't want society to hear. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Censorship.
Yeah.
Don't want to talk. It's nice to see you, by the way.
Yeah, and you.
It's nice to see you. We get on pretty well. We're both ADD.
Yeah.
HD. There's an H in you. I've probably got an H in mine too.
I don't agree. I don't. But I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So, LB, the list gets longer. LBGT, LBQT.
We jumped a topic, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, let's do that.
So you're ADD. Yeah. So LGBTQ.
Hey, don't you start on me. I'll listen to you. I don't know where to start with all your products that you sell.
Yeah.
And how much of an amazing business person you are. But, you are definitely ADD, and it helps in business.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do need to kind of have a diary.
I think...
But, where were we?
No, I think it's a good point. I think... so let's say...
Hang on. Just let me just... See? Yep.
The headwear is getting to you. I like it.
No, I love it. I like my own hair too. My wife says I look sexy with this hair.
Dude, you've got gangster hair.
Thanks a lot.
It's such good hair.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking forward to getting the fucking... what do you call it? The silverback, But this is the thing, like, I never want to cut my hair, but I realize there's going to be a day where it will recede to a point where it's like it's sensible to cut it.
Oh yeah.
And when I'm there, that's the hair that I want.
Well, silverback's good, right? But I've gone to white, so I'm going through the white stage. So, I wanted to dye it. I wanted to dye it yellow.
No.
Because there's a lot of yellow dyeing at one stage.
Don't do that.
And then I thought about blue. My wife has just kiboshed both of them. She said, you're not going to get laid. I'm not getting laid now anyway.
Dude, you look like fucking a wannabe Eminem if you dye it yellow.
100%. Yeah, I'm not aging Eminem.
Right.
Say it. Just say it.
Fucking hilarious Eminem.
Yeah. All right.
Bro, we got to do it now.
No, I will. We'll put one of those temporary ones in. Like a rinse.
No, commit to it. Or we'll just spray paint your head yellow.
So yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Well, so what's the plus? You got LGBTQ, right?
Bro, I didn't give a fuck what the plus is.
What is the plus?
I don't know.
Is that just waiting for another? Yeah.
Oh, just in case one of these didn't work, have that one.
It's going on. It's going on. There's
but
a lot
also,
of going on.
I encourage anyone who's invested and involved in those letters to give a fuck about my life.
Say that again. What do you mean?
Like, I don't know because it doesn't affect me. And I'm not better. I don't think that I'm better than being a progressive human when it does affect me. Like, if I hire a staff member, it's important to them. I'll bring it under my umbrella.
Yeah.
But while it doesn't affect me, I shouldn't even be having this conversation because it doesn't fucking matter what I think.
Yes.
Right? And more importantly, I don't make... I don't aim or aspire to make viral content trying to tell people that the way I live is the only way to live and that you have to adhere to the way I live. Right? Because they're not even selling anything. It's not like if everyone goes like, oh, okay, I accept whatever the fuck you identify as today, that they get rich or that they have a better life or that anything changes. They are contrarians. They are people who are talking to hear their own voice. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't fucking care what the plus means.
Yeah.
You know? I care as much about what that plus means as what they know about cotton and poly combinations in materials and when you go to heat press vinyl onto them.
Yeah.
Fucking nothing.
So what are you really trying to say?
Bro, if you need decorated garments for your business or brand, contact Black Ink for your garment decorating needs.
That's what he's trying to say.
See that?
Don't worry about the plus sign.
Yeah, no,
Thanks.
fuck the
Sorry
plus
about that.
sign.
Yeah, my apologies.
Plus a little fucking tip on top. That's what it means.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, cheers.
Cheers.
Here's to Froth.
To Froth.
Thanks, Peter and the boys. So,
But going back in conversation,
yeah.
the ADD thing, time's there for you, by the way.
Yeah, I'm just looking. My wife's gonna give me a call soon. She's gonna go. Let's chopper you out of here. But that won't take. That won't be for ages. We're good.
Really?
Yeah.
What time is she coming?
I don't know. But I just thought I'd tell you that
Oh,
just to make
yeah.
you a little bit worried, and so we can talk in short, choppy sentences.
Dude, did you say that starting to fuck with me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wait, I know this cunt's ADD. Let's ramp him up.
Yeah, ramp him up.
I'm going to be out of here in 25 minutes, bro. What do you want to talk about?
This is gonna blow.
So, the ADD and business
yeah.
thing, I think that you've got, and like this is of course my stupid opinion of someone who doesn't have any education, but you've got a lot of people out there with ADD and ADHD like symptoms and experience, whether they have it or not, I'm not going to touch, but they have the experience of someone who has the symptoms
Yeah.
that are involved with that thing, right?
Yeah.
And the problem is, if it's the same as what I'm experiencing, I was talking about this with Maddie this morning, Dr. Maddie Moore. I can handle, like when I was on my coffee van, I can talk to you, see her walking up, have your coffee order on the go, start hers and the one that I know she's going to take back for her desk, mate.
Yeah.
Figure out the maths, have a conversation, and think about what I'm doing after this.
Yeah.
And know, like, she's going to come with a 50. He's got a coffee card. I can have all that going on at one time. When you have a situation that benefits from you being able to focus on more than one thing at once, it's great.
Yeah.
But when you're a fucking truck driver, sitting in the same seat, doing the same shit in an automatic road train, that's when you start going crazy and you need to be dulled down.
Yeah.
So I see this as like, I've got 4,000 things going on at once and I could probably use another one and I can find it and fill that void in my mind.
Yeah.
So I've got this situation for myself where it's like, oh, all these things are happening. Of course, I need heaps of things to be happening to feel fulfilled. I need that to feel like I'm valuable and like I'm needed, like my business needs me if I have all these things going and require me to be there. And during the growth phase of it, it's not sustainable. But right now, for the growth phase of my business, could not be a better fit. So my job now, I don't think is to medicate this or even identify whatever's going on. It's to just keep using it as a fuel to live a life that I want to live. So the lifestyle is benefiting me. It benefits my family, benefits my community and my network, and ultimately benefits my business as well. So I can actually make money and sustain this whole thing. So yeah, I think if there's someone out there that's like, you know, there is something abnormal about me, or I feel like I've got 120 or 100 or 200% of the energy I need, go burn it off somewhere.
Yeah.
You know?
We don't, and you know, like our pharmaceutical industry want to medicate you.
That's right.
They want to diagnose people that can't concentrate.
They want to monetize that problem.
Yeah, 100%. Like you can't sit in a chair and you want to be active. Like, you know, like someone said to me recently, like, you know, the schooling system putting boys in chairs.
It's crazy.
It's a crime against boys. You know. So like look, someone like you who's what do they say when you're an alcoholic, but you're useful. You can still do things.
Functioning alcoholic.
You're a functioning person, but they want to call you ADHD because you can't sit in a chair at school.
Yeah.
I can sit in a fucking chair like a truckie.
Yeah.
But you know, why would you want to diagnose me with something that's bad? It's the system that's fucked.
There's also the why. You know, like I have a.
Sorry about that.
If we're gonna go, I'm just gonna double check everything's all good. If we're gonna go deep into the that kind of topic, I always had to understand the why. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, right now, why do you do the podcast? Why do you do shirts? Why do you do the content? It's because I know the why. I have a mission in my business and it all folds back onto that mission. I know the why. But when you're sitting there and you're like, we're going to learn this fucking form of algebra today. And I'm like, why? And they say, because you're going to use it one day. I have the experience of a fucking 12-year-old. I don't know what that means. I'm going to use it one day. What the fuck does that mean? So far, I've been sheltered by my parents and put through fucking private school. Algebra has never been a thing, and now you're in for no reason.
So that was your experience at 12.
Oh, 15, whenever you learned.
I had the same experience with trigonometry. The trigonometry was just like, what the fuck is this shit about?
What's happening?
I'm not trying to solve a quadratic equation for a bridge. So why the hell do you want to teach me now? And this is would be quite simple. Basic stuff's okay, but we should be. May I be so bold as to tell you what I feel about education?
Yeah, sure.
I think modern education in Australia is so broken, it's not funny. Finland are making us look like fucking idiots.
Okay.
Right?
What does Finland do?
Well, Finland, like that. So, for instance, right, they'll go, listen, the school, we've got a school and we've got a school project. So the year 3s will be observing. So they'll do the drawings of the bridge. We're going to do a bridge. It's got to hold this much weight. So the year 12s will be doing the applied stuff. So they'll be designing it and making sure it all works. Right. So everyone in that school, whether you're artistic, whether you're whatever level you are, this is a project that you can all put into.
Yeah.
Right? So you learn as humans to do stuff which is practical and doesn't make you wrong because you can't get that block of shit done on that particular day. Yeah. You know?
Have you seen
That's
that?
a problem, right? For kids.
There's such a big conversation because you go like 100%, that's a utility, that's a situation where we can kind of like pinpoint, we go like, oh, artistic, oh, active, oh, book nerd, oh, you know. I think like you're talking about a complete restructuring of the schooling, not just a criterion, the schooling system. Because at the moment we've got this, and I know I'm beating a dead horse here, but for the sake of covering the whole topic, we've got
beat it, mate, beat it.
We've got a system that's controlled by bells. We've got a system by bells. At 8 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
It's prison shit, right? You're going to be in this class at this time. You're going to sit down for an hour. Bell's going to go off. You go to the next class. Bell goes off. You get a little 20-minute break. Bell goes off. You go to the next class. So you've got this structure. If you wake up at 6, you get to school by 7:30. You're in your first class by 8. You've learnt something by 9, right?
Yep.
So then you go on to, then you've got a curriculum that, I mean, if we look at the example of social media marketing, right? We've got a curriculum that is outdated in a time that is moving forward at an exponential rate, unlike we've ever seen before in the history of humanity.
Yeah.
So we're teaching kids things that are relevant to a point, but in reality, we're not teaching kids any sort of emotional intelligence and how to deal with the things that they face online.
100%.
We're not teaching them how to market themselves and to understand properly what you're putting online and the implications that has in the future. And then on top of that, we're not teaching them the structure of these apps that they're using that are pretty much going to determine how they're going to live the entire rest of their lives. Why? It takes 3 to 5 years to get these things into the curriculum. Once they're in the curriculum, you've got to have a teacher that also knows them intimately to be able to teach them, not some 6-year-old dude who's been teaching fucking algebra for the past 30 years.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So we're now in a situation where like, you're 100% right. The questions are, how do we do it? How do we get everyone on board? And once we do decide on how to do it, how to get everyone on board, what does it look like?
Yeah. Well, at least we've got to start talking about it.
Yeah.
Which is what we're doing now, right?
Yeah.
Once
Two
you start
super
talking
smart
about
guys on a podcast.
100%. You're 30.
30.
Fuck all. Yep. I'm 50. Can't tell you. And you know, but when we talk about it, things happen.
Yeah, for sure.
And we go out and talk about it in the community. But that's where it starts. You know, we have an education system based on getting people. Your dad's at the bomb factory, and your mum's working at the bomb factory. She's doing something with paper. He's making bombs or fucking something like that to fight a stupid war that someone else, two fucking wankers decided to have a crack at.
Yeah.
And your kid's got to do something with the kid, 10 hours a day. You know, that's where it comes from. Post-industrial revolution shit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's interesting. I like my whole shit that I'm doing like in life comes down to one day I'm going to have a child or children, and I need all the lifestyle already sorted. I need all the finances already sorted, and there is no perfect time. So don't give me the fucking generational thing of like, there's no just do it now. It's all good. I got a plan, 100-year plan. We're year 2 of a 100-year plan. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Just leave me alone. Point being is, when that day comes that she goes, hey, this is happening, I want to be able to say, yeah, fuck yeah, and we can do it 100%. I'm going to be there, and you're going to be there.
You and Riz.
Hi,
Riz.
Me and Riz. There's no, oh, well, if we sell this, we can, and you get that job, and maybe we can To me, that's not really fucking doing the thing. And I feel like I am not I'm not at all like the majority. No one thinks like this. Most of the people aren't afforded the maturity when this decision is going to be made to like be able to actually have data and make that decision. Like I'm 30 and thinking about this. Most people accidentally or get put into a situation where they're pregnant before they're 25. You know? And like whether that's through like, oh, my friends are doing it, I think we should do it, or whether, you know, you accidentally get pregnant and you both decide it's a good idea, or whether, you know, mum and dad got pregnant at 18, so am I. I don't know what that is, but I do know that as a 30-year-old looking at all the data, it's like, okay, cool. If I knuckle down for another 3 years, we're in a lot better situation where that first 12 months can be as rocky as it wants.
Yeah.
And I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm fucking there.
Yeah.
You know?
And also doing some emotional education too. Like my wife and I, we went through a bit of a rocky bit because we just learned from our mothers and dads.
Because we're humans, yeah.
Yeah. So we decided when we went through the rocky bit that to go and do some further education when it comes to relationships. You know, and we're still just like everybody else, but you know, I like her more than I did. Well, we'd be broken up, but we'd be split up by now. You know, and if you look around, most people around you have split up by the time they're 40.
Yeah.
You know, they're onto their next relationship, you know. So, you know, you gain a friend for a start, you know, and so it's worth doing that kind of that education. You sound like you and Riz are kind of sailing as well, but you will get to a stage when post-kid that you just, you know.
Yeah, of course.
You know, I recommend, right, this is what controversial. When Riz is going to have her first baby, don't go around the front.
Oh, you're to the side or something.
You don't want to see the vagina when it's fully distended. You know, you don't want to. That you know, the vagina's just a beautiful thing that you see just before you make love to a woman.
Yeah, it's like a flower that's not fully open, but it's on its way.
Yeah, yeah. So
it almost has a sound to it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the sound I was singing.
536 hertz.
Yeah, I was going to go with a note, but yeah, go with the fucking vibration instead.
See, for whatever I'll just say to every bloke out there, this is only my opinion, but try it on, think about it, is don't go around the front. You don't want to see your woman's lovely flower, you know, the size of a small baby's head.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing. Hey, that's like...
Yeah, hold a hand. Sorry.
No, it's all stuff that, I mean, I'm in that situation where like I've had a vasectomy for 7 years, so I'm like I take information that I hear from my elders very seriously.
No.
Yeah.
Well, how are you gonna have a baby?
I'll fucking keep trying. That's what I'll do.
Oh, no. So no, yeah. Well,
so I've had a vasectomy, which is
so your testicles are still making sperm.
Yeah. So what happens with the vasectomy is you're severing the connection of the vas deferens between the testes and the penis. So basically, what happens is you still ejaculate. Everything happens. Everything comes out the same. But the small bit of sperm that the testes put into that ejaculate actually just goes into the sac and dissipates into your bloodstream. And
whoa,
yeah,
that's crazy.
It's crazy.
So how are you gonna have babies? You're gonna take it directly out of the.
So there's a few ways you can do it. So basically, what happens if you imagine that vas deferens as a hose?
Yeah.
What they normally do is they'll chop the hose, and they tie this into a knot, and they tie that into a knot, so you've got two knots floating around. What they did with me is, and this is a more desirable one.
Yeah, I get it. I'll just let it process that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got two ropes that work. So the two a hose that was connected that's now just two knots floating around, right? So when they reconnect that, they cut the knots off the end, they re-stitch it together.
So you can reverse
it, right?
Okay.
So with that said, with younger guys that may want to have kids again, they do this, and you have to go to a particular doctor to get this done, which I did. Dr. Snowball, awesome name for someone who does vasectomies.
That's not a real name.
I know. What the fuck are we talking about? Fuck stupid. I'm making this up.
Yeah, he's doing a runner right now.
Yeah. He's retired now. He's retired now.
Switzerland for fuck's sake. And his name's
Sven.
Sven Gronowski.
Yeah, Sven Gronowski.
Fucking snowball my ass.
Right?
Yeah.
So what he did is, so same piece of hose, he cuts this off, and the part that goes to the penis is completely left. So that's just a hose.
Yeah.
And then this part here, they stuff with gauze, they put a net over the top of, and then they put a rubber band around the net. And what eventually ends up happening is that gauze blocks everything, the net and the rubber band dissipate, go into your bloodstream, and you're just left with a blocked pipe. So basically you've got one bit that you've got to cut out rather than two knots.
Yeah.
They just find that top hose, get the bottom hose, cut that bit of gauze off, reconnect it, Bob's your uncle.
Fucking hell, it's amazing what they can do.
Yeah, they do it all through your butthole as well.
It's amazing what they can do. Butthole.
Yeah. No, that's the one thing about a vasectomy is they're going into your ball bag while you're awake.
Butthole.
Yeah.
Okay, I want you to do
Dude,
butthole.
it's the same way that you sun your ass. You just
Yeah.
throw your legs up and fucking...
You can do it. Why aren't you doing it regularly?
I might be doing it.
Sun it, mate. Like seriously, I've got
why I got a good
little
smile.
legs. I can't get my legs up, so I'm like when I pull my legs, I go forward.
Now, what you do is you put some cuffs around your ankles, and then you chuck that line over the washing line, and then you pull it back, and that pulls your legs up in the air.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna film that. Thanks, Jake. It's been lovely.
No, thank you,
let's
Peter.
let's keep going. Thanks, Pete. And don't you love the buzz that Stout gives you though?
Yeah.
Stout's a different buzz. It's this kind of cerebral, intellectual thing that happens. It's not kind of like, I feel like punching someone in the head kind of buzz, or I feel like talking shit. It's kind of, probably are.
It's a very, it's a heavy sitting buzz though.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want to be riding my pushy or anything.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some alcohol's fully fun to like
Buzzy.
have adventures on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like driving.
Yeah. Like driving at 2 a.m. to your
Yeah.
ex-missus's house.
Yeah, you
Running over letterbox.
we need to
like,
talk.
"This is sick."
We need to talk. And I might get laid. Yeah. Yeah. That's it? Lager.
Just sit there just drinking the microwave goes off in the background. You're like, yeah, I should call her.
Yeah. Or your Bundaberg rum, occasions.
Dude, no, there's definitely like... So I used to ride... It's funny because I brought this up with Maddie on the previous podcast as well. I used to ride fixed gear push bikes.
Oh, Jesus.
No brakes, no gears.
What, for racing or just...
Just for fun.
Oh, for fun,
Just for
yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
So I had this group of mates that we would all... For entertainment purposes, this is completely a fictional story. We would smoke as much weed as we could.
Yeah.
And then all play the same album on our iPods at the exact same time.
Oh, go. 1, 2, 3, go.
Go.
Yep.
Yeah. And go riding through town. And you'd be 4 or 5 songs deep. Because I used to live in Malloy Street, the one street behind the main street of town.
Oh, yeah.
Right behind Office Works.
I know it, yep.
So we used to fucking leave, the garage, all press play at the same time, and you'd be 4 songs deep and somewhere around like the big swamp, and a great part of a song would come up and you see us all look at each other at once and be like, oh, this is fucking
so
cool.
sweet.
Such great memories.
How old were you?
That would have been like 20, 21, 22.
Jesus. Jesus. That's sweet, actually. It's a sweet thing to do.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Like, you're not bashing someone's brains at a nightclub at half past 2 in the morning. You're just riding around, like, synchronising.
Yeah. And it would be, you would leave at
beautiful.
9 o'clock at night, you'd come back at fucking 12 o'clock midnight,
Yeah.
go sit up on the roof, pass a joint around.
Yeah.
Just being, you know what I mean? It's not like
Yeah.
we're up there yahoo and listen to music. Like you would almost sit in silence and just like occasionally like say something. And man, like that's, like admittedly, that's one of those things that like when I'm having a shitty time, it's like that's one of those places I go to, sitting on my roof in Malloy Street with with Lockie and Steve and Al and just being,
Oh, so you go back there?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so sweet. Yeah. Like I'm thinking about a business that you could, like, roller skating, right? Remember when I was 15, roller skating was the place to go. Like you'd have like music and they'd have lights.
Yeah.
And you'd skate around and maybe have a pash with someone you like,
Pash
So it was
rash.
like a full. No, it wasn't rash. I couldn't grow hair in those days.
Yeah, all right.
So yeah, but it was romantic.
Yeah.
So we haven't. I think apart from just going into bars, we haven't really got that even as adults. Imagine if you had an adult skate rink.
Have you seen? Have you seen White Boy Rick?
No.
It's a really, it's an interesting story about. I'm pretty sure it's based off. Yes, it's a true story.
Yeah.
So this dude was an arms dealer that got caught, and
So
eventually.
he sold arms.
Yeah, from the elbow down.
Damn, I want one.
So he would sell all sorts of like automatic and semi-automatic weapons and shit to gang members.
Yeah.
I might have turned it off at the.
Okay, that's all right.
Yeah.
I'm not cold.
I'm glad. But
I've got good circulation. Can't you tell?
Oh yeah.
let's go back there.
I'm wearing compression tights under all this.
Are you?
No, you for the circulation.
Oh, sorry. Keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
He anyway, the story isn't important. The point is that the cool place where everyone met up, the gangsters, was the roller rink. Everything happened at the roller rink.
Where?
Like this was like in fucking somewhere in the US.
What's it called again?
White Boy Rick.
Where do you find these movies, mate?
Actually, I heard about it on a podcast, and then
Yeah. It's good B grade.
It's
underground.
it would be good. Yeah, it would be good B grade. No, because it's got what's his name? Michael McCullough. You know, right. What's his name?
Oh, McConaughey.
McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey. Yeah.
I think it's McConaughey, but yeah, you get it.
Yeah, they're like.
He's the dad in it. Yeah.
Can you do the accent?
Not at all.
You want to try?
No.
You're scared.
I know what I'm good at.
Yeah. What are you good at?
Ask me to do a wheelie, bro. I'll do a wheelie.
Oh yeah. Hey, look. I think I think in a way he's overrated, but he actually has on his Instagram. He does all these really cool sayings as well, and it's still cheesy. It feels cheesy because it's Matthew McConaughey, right?
You're dealing with a principal storyteller.
Yeah.
You're dealing with it's like. It's one of those things where, like, what's a good analogy? Well, no, being an actor is the analogy. It's the ultimate pretender. It's someone pretending to be someone else. Yeah. Their value is based on how well they can imitate a character.
But he's using that platform to actually put some good stuff through too.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He's like he says some good stuff. It feels cheesy though.
I agree with what you're saying, but I think it's all about, like, the intention is one thing, delivery is another thing.
Yeah.
And if you're so in it that you can't understand that your delivery makes you look like a fuckhead, then don't do it at all.
So how do you, when you see him doing that stuff, do you feel like that? That he's a bit of a dick? I feel the same.
Yeah.
I actually
he's detached.
It discredits it.
He's too far.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, like, without sounding pretentious about it, like, I'm in a position now with my business. I've worked hard enough and I've built something now where I actually find it difficult. Like, I do my Monday motivations, right? Every Monday I put something on my story, typically around 8 or 9:30, and I try and say something that's relatable and valuable for people to get them started on the week. And this week it was like, hey man, success isn't about success, it's about a fucking heap of failures that you got to deal with.
Yep.
So it might be Monday and you might be off to a bad start. It's just fucking Monday. Go kill it. Go thrive. Go fucking thrive, right?
Yeah.
Now,
I love that word, by the way.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. It feels like you're a plant in the sun about to blossom. It's awesome. Everything's natural. Anyway, so when I look at the things that I'm saying to my audience, because I have this voice and people listen to me, like, people tell me, oh, your Monday motivation, da-da-da, right? So I think, now I've got this voice, you got to make it relatable, you got to make it valuable. And sometimes when I think about this, I go like, well, I'm actually in a position where I'm not really sharing many of the same problems. The only problems that I share that are the same are human problems. Because the 99% that are just having a job, having debt, having a missus that they don't really fuck with anymore. You know what I mean? That whole like broken society thing, it's like I'm trying to give them valuable information that actually does something, but I'm getting further away from that lifestyle. So it's hard to know. Like, I know what my problems are, and I try and figure out solutions to them all the time. I'm progressing. Yeah. But then when I think about these potential problems that they might be facing that I can help them with, so on Monday I can give them something, this nugget of information that helps them. I realize the distance that we have is this big. The distance between even me and Matthew McConaughey, besides these people, like my audience, not these people, these beautiful people in my audience, is even greater. She's like, you know what, you need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Like, who the fuck are you? Yeah. What are you talking about?
And you make $50 million a film.
You're sitting on a couch worth more than my car.
Yeah, that's true.
What the fuck are you talking about?
That's true.
You know?
Yeah, and I think what's happening is a lot of mainstream actors from Hollywood are starting to kind of morph themselves into these kind of gurus.
Yeah. What for?
Yeah, but we've got people out there that have lived more of a basic, intentional, down to earth life that they don't want to take their place. Like I've got a mate who's a raw food guy. He lives in Bali, Ben Richards. And he looks 30, and he's 54. He's like, but he actually looks 20, because he hasn't touched alcohol, and I'm trying to sway him on that, but those are real. These are people that live real lives. That have real philosophy that these guys, I'm sure a Hollywood actor shouldn't try and replace.
I think when I'm trying to learn how to do better wheelies, I talk to people who can do wheelies better than me.
You were saying that last time we spoke. I like that.
All of my analogies are about wheelies because that's what I know.
Yeah.
I'm good at decorating clothes. I'm fucking awesome at wheelies.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not an accident. It's because I focus on getting better at that.
Yeah.
And like, this is a thing. The pattern repeats itself. Everything. Your relationship, my wheelies, fucking garment design, a shitty job, everything is just a pattern that's repeating itself. The human responsibility is to recognize this pattern and to actualize it into every other thing so that you can get a better result. Right?
Yes.
So if I can get good at wheelies, I can live the perfect life. Right? If I can master one thing, I can master anything because the pattern repeats itself across the board.
Ooh, I like that.
Right?
I like that a lot.
So if I can get so technically proficient at wheelies that there's a sideways wind and my tire's flat and I don't have a back brake or whatever, but I can still pull a wheelie, then there's no reason that I can't have a perfect relationship that can stand any sort of road bump that will come in front of me with Larissa.
Yeah.
Because it's all just about your perception to growth and your availability to progression.
But the most important thing for me when you're talking about that, like that applied form of stuff, is not trying to break speed records, right? Remember, everyone that tries to break a speed record on assault is dead, right? You're talking about kicking back to 90% of what will make you dead, and still live and exist in that sweet spot, right?
Let's cross metaphor this, right?
Yeah.
And take it to my relationship because I feel like that's got more tentacles in it to explore.
Yeah.
My job, once I win her over and I say, hey, you're my girlfriend, I'm your boyfriend, right?
Which has already happened.
Right. Well, we've never had that conversation, but it's happened, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not, no one's more important to me than her. Not my parents, nothing. I've made that crossover now that is the person that I give all of the fucks about.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Now, I have a responsibility to this person, not because of her, but because of human nature, to remain attractive, to remain valuable.
Oh yeah, I like that. We talk about this too.
Right?
Yeah.
So with my wheelies, now that I can do wheelies, do I just do wheelies? Well, it's my girlfriend. It's my wheelie. I'm already there, right?
Yeah.
Or do I go, okay, now how do I speed up doing a wheelie? How do I slow down? How do I go around corners? How do I do circle work to the left? How do I circle work to the right? How do I put my foot down? How do I put my hand down?
Wheelies.
Right?
Turn corners.
Then you go, I'm 5 years deep with this girl. And I've tried to be more attractive every day, and mostly I've succeeded. How do I be more attractive still? I don't know. That's your fucking problem.
Yeah.
But if you figure it out, you get to live an ultimate life with someone who you're continuing to build this life with.
Yeah.
You're continuing to build this like beautiful story that it's like, yeah, we had this happen and we dealt with it. And then she had this happen and we dealt with it. And then I had this happen and she was there with me. Why?
Yeah.
Because we're remaining attractive to each other.
And not going into the mundane.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's like, do I accept that now I can do wheelies? I just do wheelies? Like, no. I want to be the best wheelie artist in the world.
I think that's why people, the marriage and the relationships fail, because they stop being excited with each other.
Yeah.
With what you can do and what they can do. Right. Don't you reckon?
I think the excitement subconsciously stops with yourself. You realize that I'm just a person with a shitty job with this. Yeah. That's my person now forever. And it's like, do I even find them sexy? Well, I probably don't even find myself sexy at this point. You know what I mean? And it's like a lot of, and like this is the same in friendships, this is the same in relationships, this is the same as when you meet strangers. They're just mirrors, bro.
Oh, yeah.
They're just mirrors.
100%.
The person you live with is just the shiniest, most reflective mirror. It's like, I see people in relationships and they're like, oh, I think she's cheating on me. I'm like, you're fucking cheating on her. I don't need anything else.
Even if it's just up here, right?
Yeah.
Cheers. Oh.
Not bad.
Yeah.
We still all safe? Fuck yeah, we're all safe.
We ran out of battery last week.
Ran out of space on the phone and stopped with 2% battery.
I'm going to text my chick and tell her when we're going to finish.
You completely fucked with me at the start.
It wasn't my intention. The
podcaster has been played.
All right. So remember last time you left to go to the toilet and then you chased Louis, your dog, across the road. So we. Sammy. God.
Oh, actually, we had fucking all the problems in the world last time.
Did we?
Yeah, we did. Because I got up for like 3 pisses, which I never do.
Yeah.
Larissa came home. She went through the back. Louis got crazy. You're not having a bar of it today, are you, Lou?
So we got to a 4. Actually, I think she's more relaxed with me too,
Lou?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I've given her a little bit of a rub and,
Also, I got a postie, mate, and he carries smackos with him to keep dogs at bay when he's delivering shit.
Smart.
So every time he comes here, he gives her a smacko, and he came here just before you came. So she's all fucking revved up and had that.
Out. So what do smackos do to a dog, you reckon?
Oh, they get him excited in the moment.
Yeah.
But because she had that excitement, she's not kind of looking for it, I think.
Okay. I've got some questions for you.
Here we go.
Yeah, because, you know, we need some structure.
Some structure.
Don't you love podcasts, though?
Dude, it's crazy that podcasting is the only time when you get an uninterrupted long form conversation with someone who normally is just a peer anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of cool this morning talking to Maddie, being a doctor.
Maddie
It's like,
Moore, yeah.
I've never had an opportunity to speak to a doctor for longer than 15 minutes.
How was that? Was it pretty cool? God,
Very
I
cool.
like Maddie.
No, he's just a guy. I said that to him. You don't feel like a doctor, you feel like a person who is a doctor.
Yeah, which is what doctors could be like.
Yeah.
I don't like to say should because, you know, it's just forcing people.
Oh no, there's an opportunity to be a problem solver that helps people with their health. It isn't like seemingly autistic, I guess.
Yeah. So you ready? I'm going to turn into the host.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to ask you questions.
I can answer the first question. 8 inches.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That's a big.
Fuck, I wish. Hey, that'd be nuts.
That's a big hemorrhoid.
Yeah. That's why I have to sun it every day.
Yeah. It might go away.
Maybe. So far, it hasn't.
You need to it's regularity.
Yeah.
So
every day, says the food guru away.
So I'm assuming you're talking about your penis.
Dude, I fucking wish I was talking about my
How
penis.
good's that?
That'd be fucking...
I wish I had 8 inches. I wish I was 5. That'd be nice.
5.
Yeah. Obviously, that's on the flop too. So legalizing marijuana.
In the cold.
Sorry.
In the cold.
Damn. God, I took my wetsuit off the other day. Jesus. Anyway.
It's crazy how much of a difference you can get from fucking like warm and relaxed to 6 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
Just gone for a swim in the ocean. You're like, hey, bro.
Yeah.
Are we on the same team or?
No. Well, I think when your body is at risk,
Yeah.
like from cold or heat or whatever.
Yeah.
The first thing that suffers is, you know, your old
Bro, I
fella.
never fuck when I'm at risk of anything.
No.
I need to be fully risk perverse if I'm gonna get my cock out.
Yeah. So toilet sex is out of the question. Like, you know, public toilet sex.
Bro, sex with a window open is out of the question.
Jesus.
Nah, I'm kidding.
You joking?
I like a crowd. That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll get on to dogging at another time.
Please.
So don't you love these podcasts? So because I'm not sure who's going to see this, but there's nothing controversial comes up, which is great, right? It's all done in the best possible taste.
Yeah.
So legalizing marijuana, 15 sentences or less.
All right. Okay.
That's a fair few sentences, though.
Yeah. Do you want me to count them, or are you going to count them?
No. It'll be kind of like what they do in AFL. It's like, oh, you've run 10 metres, but you don't know really.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think so. The real question is the medicinal versus the recreational legalization of marijuana. Obviously, the medicinal legalization is here and happening. I have a medicinal script for plant medicine. I find it hugely helpful.
Yeah.
In fucking regulating mood and being able to focus on things, being able to not worry about 400,000 things at once, alleviate anxiety if it's not overdone. As far as recreational legalization is concerned, I am definitely like 150% for it.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things where like most narcotics, if you legalize it, you're going to get rid of a lot of the actual violence that comes from drugs because of the black market nature of it.
Can I ask you a question? Would you have smoking places or just legalise it generally for so like you have a alcohol
So we're in Kerry
bar?
Park right now. 80% of the people here has a smoking place in their house.
Yeah.
It's already happening.
Yeah. But would you have where you can buy it over the counter and smoke it there?
So
Would you have
Amsterdam
that?
has that coffee shop set up.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
Dude, think less about the day-to-day and more about the tourism of it. I think if you've got a coffee shop in Bunbury, and Bunbury's known as like the recreational marijuana place, it's like, how fucking cool is that? People would come to Bunbury for that. And especially if you align that with like with your project, with the Ocean Baths project, and it's like all of a sudden you've got people. I'm not saying that surfers are stoners or skaters are stoners.
No.
I'm saying everyone are fucking
We're not
stoners.
Pigeonholing, are we? We're not,
right?
no pigeonholing here.
No.
We're not pigeonholing people.
So if you go, cool, we've got this industry here, and we've got these people who we know fuck with that. Whatever, dude.
I know you love the fact that I don't roll
Just
up.
all
How do I
you.
look?
No, it looks good.
I feel like one of those like racing tadpoles.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Sorry.
We'll get you some Oakleys so you can be a full fucking...
You fuckwit.
Yeah, dude.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's
no.
done in the best possible taste.
Yeah, of course.
You know the Australian cricketers, they must have been sold a whole sea tainer
Oh, the fucking...
of the blades.
Bro, why did they go the cycling ones?
Are they better?
No, why did you, like, the cycling ones are made for, like, so that air passes through them without air going onto your eyeballs.
Yes.
And it's like, these cunts who stand on the pitch all day are like, yeah, we need the radars. And it's like, no, you don't.
What's a radar?
Radar's the model that they wear.
Jeez,
the
I
Oakley
didn't
radars.
know that. Look at you, you were crosses.
Dude, I have a collection of Oakleys that I'd rather not talk about.
Fuck. But sorry, I don't mean to swear. But, you know, it's a word now, isn't it? Yeah. So where were we before that came up?
What the plus is in LGBTQ.
Yes. Yeah. Let's go on to the next question. The
legalization.
Yeah, we've done that.
I think there's plenty of advantages to it once because it's recreationally available in ACT. Yeah. It's a, what do you call it when it comes down the hill? It's going to come to us eventually.
Yeah.
I think now...
Knock-on effect. Is that knock-on effect? No. Yeah. Come down the hill.
Snowball effect, maybe.
We're back to snowballing again.
Oh, the doctor.
Mate. Yeah.
Oh.
Next question. Oh, you done? That's enough from that. Mental health in men.
Mental health in men is an interesting one. So mental health is a really good topic, I think, because it's a really good topic with a really crappy stigma. Because I feel like mental health has this thing where, like, as soon as you say mental health in men, it's this men cry, but we're not meant to, right?
Yeah,
That's exactly where it goes. But I think, like, when you talk about mental health in men, it's more that if you look in general at the structure of boys these days, of males, the majority of them don't come from a structured household where there's a father figure that's consistent, and they don't come from a place where healthy male value-based roles are prioritized. And I think this is why you got someone like Andrew Tate, who's up on a pedestal, who's really controversial because people are like, oh, he shouldn't be saying all these things about, you know, men building value in themselves and treating women like this and rah, rah. It's like, there needs to be some sort of other conversation other than men should be weak and men should be submissive and men should put women above them and all the rest. I think that women are powerful. I think there is a place for women. I think there is also a place for men getting back to their traditional values and understanding that you're allowed to be powerful. You're allowed to be feared. You're allowed to be strong as fuck, and it's your job to hold that back and be a gentleman about it.
100%.
And through that process, you learn. You learn that your mind is your biggest asset. If you can master this, you can master anything. So it's not necessarily about, like, letting men cry and go through all this. Like, I understand that that's a conversation of its own. But I feel like men's mental health and awareness is more about, like, hey, let's look more at, like, let's help men understand what they're going through. And give them some like some kind of guidelines, some goalposts, some things that's like, hey, this, like, severe anger that you're feeling right now as a young 20-something-year-old and your first missus has cheated on you or something, have you ever thrown yourself into a community? Have you ever taken up a hobby that you've obsessed over for 6 months to help you develop? Or do you just get angry, drink piss, do cocaine and punch someone at Fitzy's? Right? So I think that whole bubble for me is more about, like, how can I help empower other men to be men in not a toxic way, but, like, I want you to be powerful.
But feel your manhood.
Dude.
Feel your manhood.
I want you to be able to scream and feel like the whole world should bend to you.
100%.
And then I want you to manage that to be the best gentleman you can be, to be 100%. A brilliant man.
Like your 6 foot guy, scared of the 5'4" guy, because he knows he can fuck you up to the body, you know, because you don't know where you come from. If you men are men, and women like men. You know, generally speaking. So we need to find the men again and then teach them to be soft within that conversation as well. That's what you're saying, right?
Essentially, yeah. I'm paraphrasing a Jordan Peterson quote that men should be powerful, they should be scary, and they should be feared. And then with all of that knowledge, they should reel it back in and be able, and that should be their power. That it's like, yes, I could rip apart this room, I could break you in half, I could do whatever I want, but it's the power is in that I don't.
100%. I like that. That's I'm glad we caught up today, Jake, just for that.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Ready for the next one?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, all things surf reef, let's just flick that out. Why Bunbury?
Dude, Bunbury's got everything.
Yeah.
Bunbury's heaven.
Yeah.
So Bunbury is like, we're surrounded by postcard views of the ocean. You know, on a day of the week that ends with Y, you can go down to the inlet and see dolphins swimming around. Yeah. There is so much community shit going on every day of the week of every week of the year that look for it. There's nothing to do in Bunbury,
Yeah.
says the fuckhead scrolling on Instagram every night after work.
Like, bar flying.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
why Bunbury? I think Bunbury right now is really cool. I think Bunbury's loaded with potential for the future. And now that I'm starting to get a bit of an idea of what is happening in Bunbury in the future, bro, in the next 5-10 years, as long as AI doesn't kill us, everything's going to be pretty fucking cool in Bunbury.
Yeah. So anyone outside of Bunbury who's listening to this, come to Bunbury.
Come to Bunbury.
Yeah. Come and meet Jake.
One at a time,
Come and get on a one at a time, lined up for a podcast out the door.
Who knows?
All right, Jake, you ready? If you were God, what are the first 2 things you would do? Sorry, no, you don't even need to think. You're like, all right, good.
Well, the first one's having like a round table conversation with people like Freddie Mercury and Pablo Escobar, with people that have died that are like such fucking shakers and movers on a monumental scale that are creators. You know what I mean? Like the thing about Freddie Mercury and like Pablo Escobar is like they created systems and things and art.
Escobar? You pull that out of your ass, didn't you?
Born on the same day.
You were?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean he's a nice bloke, though.
No, I didn't say about nice. I said he's a creator.
Yeah. Sorry.
A creator, there's no right and wrong in creation, right?
Yeah.
And like I understand that the result or byproduct of what he did was kill thousands, if not millions of people. And obviously with the what was your thing, the roll-on effect of selling cocaine, it would have been millions of people, right? 100% understand that. But like if this conversation that I'm having isn't about that.
If you were God, yeah.
This man was born into poverty and figured it out. The product doesn't matter. The result doesn't matter. He figured out a system that was so fucking powerful that every power source around him wanted him dead and they couldn't do it as a combined effort.
Yeah. And that was the CIA as well, weren't they? They were after him.
Everyone.
Yeah.
The US, Colombia, other narcos.
But and cocaine, which is what we're talking about, right, was a military drug. And the coca plant and the coca leaf was banned as a military plant by the US. Remember that?
I wasn't alive, but yeah.
Well, the Germans used cocaine just to fuel their
armies.
Their armies.
Yeah.
Right?
Have you seen the video of Hitler freaking out at the fucking 32 Olympic Games?
No.
He's sitting there and he's just fucking, he's watching them and he's rocking and the knees going.
You're joking.
Just pepped up.
No,
bro.
I heard about it, but I haven't seen it.
It's nuts.
Fuck.
It's like, when you watch it, you're like, this guy is fucking buzzing.
Off his chops.
On amphetamines.
And that's why.
Yeah.
That's why he went nuts, right?
Oh, dude. I've seen
The whole
people
nation
that
went
are,
nuts.
well,
Wasn't on eggs.
I've seen blokes have a complete fucking psychotic breaks for 6 hours at a time, 4 or 5 days into a bender. This dude was like years into a bender.
Yeah.
They were shooting him up with cocaine, amphetamines, testosterone, like hormones. Like,
Fuck off.
what are we talking about? It's like, yeah, that's what happens when you're a fucking guinea pig in the 40s or whatever it was. Wait, when did World War II happen?
39 to 45.
Let's go.
I shouldn't know that, but I do. Hey, Jake, I just want to say one thing. I want to do a disclaimer for any young men out there. I've written a book for young men, not young Australian men, and it's important to drink alcohol just to have a nice time.
Yeah.
Don't get stuck with it. Don't abuse it with any substance, but just alcohol is a poison if it's overdone. You know, it's really important that we enjoy alcohol. We're having a chat. And then we'll go back to our normal lives and we won't have it from day to day.
Yeah.
You know, that's really important. Yeah?
Yeah, 100%. I typically don't drink that much alcohol.
No.
But it's definitely like anything, you know, like if I'm sitting down having a meeting with someone at 9 o'clock in the morning, we have coffee.
Yeah.
And if we sit down and we're doing something creative and you also have a prescription, we might smoke some medicinal marijuana and get creative with it, you know?
Yeah.
It's all much for muchness, but like alcohol is definitely this social lubricant that, like, for some reason, for whatever reason, the lack of inhibitions that comes with it, it's such a like. It's kind of cool, I think, to like let that guard down. And before our last podcast, I'd never drunk alcohol on the podcast.
Yeah.
And then I went and did a podcast up in Perth last Saturday, where I drank alcohol, 1 can that was whatever it was, and just went off the fucking deep end for the last half of the podcast. Just sent it because I was feeling, I had a bit of a buzz and I was like, this is fucking cool.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, if I do podcasts, I got to drink cans.
Yeah.
This is a better podcast.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I can't wait till they infuse marijuana with beer.
I think it's been done.
I know, but it hasn't been done.
Yeah,
You know,
on a scale.
so you can get one. You know, can you imagine like sativa and beer? Like, so they got a depressant and a zippy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're whacking a buzzy.
You need the fucking dose to be so small.
Yeah, of course. But imagine, like, I'll let you know something. About 10 years ago or 5 years ago, I thought of a brand called Johnny Immortal,
Right.
which was mushroom tinctures and alcohol and hemp oil all together. So you get this kind of like, you didn't know whether you're shot, fucked, powder burn or snake bit, but you were just having a nice time.
Yeah.
And I reckon that's where the world's going to go. Is a little bit of marijuana oil, a tiny little bit of kind of like zippy, you know, and you can tailor your experiences in a really, really nice way, you know.
Yeah, I think we're already a society that deals with problems with pills. You know what I mean? Like I woke up with a sore back this morning, ibuprofen, whatever it's called, and paracetamol, let's go. Yeah. Which is a very odd thing for me. But I think if you're, you know, you get to a certain point where you're like, we're going out for a chill night, it's probably not going to last all night. You know, wouldn't mind this drink that hits that map in my head rather than I'm going to smoke a joint before I leave. Yeah. Drink vodka sodas when I get there and then finish with a stout or something to settle me down.
Yeah, so you can have a can of, it's got a bit of zip in it, a bit of in it, and they even might touch base at a certain time. And like, you know, I think that's where society will go. Like if you look at those science fiction shows, they will. Back in the 60s, it's like they give you a little, this will sort you out, you know?
Yeah, dude. Back in the 60s, the science fiction shit was like they put a pea in the microwave and it turns into a full-blown meal. The reality of what it is now in the future is like you go through a list that's endless on your phone and get it delivered to your door. Yeah. Whew. The future is a scary place.
I just, you know, I'm Polish and Ukrainian and Italian by descent, so my liver's quite good with alcohol.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, you know, I think it's as long as you have 5 days clear, you know.
Right. Of alcohol?
Or just of substance, and you don't go to an addictive place. It's better than chewing anti-inflammatories and all that other kind of stuff, you know. That's just the natural, like cannabis is natural, you know. Hops, like the fermentation of stuff to make alcohol is natural. If you know, monks have been doing it for centuries, thousands of years. But the pharmaceutical industry has taken over that role.
Yeah.
You know, we should, like, you know, if you go to England, they have they'll get all these apples and they'll have a cider fest. Yeah. Well, everyone will get together and just get rosy cheeked on cider, and then they'll go back to kind of, you know, farming and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
you know, that's kind of natural. That's where humans come from.
I think what you're talking about in theory is very accurate. Like it's like, fuck yeah, if we can have a thing where, and like, you know, same again, doing things like DMT, which is do you know DMT?
Yeah.
Dimethyltryptamine. It's like your body produces it organically. It's kind of the dream drug, and like your body releases a whole heap of it when you die. Really fun drug to do once or twice in your whole life.
Yeah.
Super fun. But like if you do it over and over and over, totally different thing. It's a different experience.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. I agree with you.
I think that when you look at, and I'm only saying that as a bizarre example in that case of theory, what we're talking about. I think if you look at a grander scale, the idea, the concern that is, how do I live a life where my body is serving me well, it's serving the life that I want to live, and that I'm kind of looking forward to go, like, you know, I want to make sure that I stretch every day so that I'm flexible by the time I'm 50. I want to make sure that I'm doing exercise 5 times a week that's pretty vigorous, so I know that I can still do vigorous exercise when I'm in my 50s, 60s, 70s, so on. But that conversation, when you start to pay attention to it, you're like, I've got to floss my teeth every day. I've got to wash my feet when I'm in the shower. I've got to touch my toes. I've got to do downward dog. I've got to do the exercise. I've got to belong to a community. I've got to buy the equipment to do the shit. I've got to make time for it, right? I've got to belong to this thing. Now there's politics involved, and I've got to pick whether I'm on Samantha's side or Tamara's side, you know? So all of a sudden, that whole thing, that whole intention of like, I want to live a life where I'm helping myself in the future, where does that fit into having a job and a mortgage and a normal life and a normal social setting that doesn't allow for all of that. And I think, yes, 100%. Now that I've afforded my time with this business to spend time thinking and also allowing these conversations to happen where you're talking to people that are smarter than you or have different ideas and go like, shit, where does that fit into my life? And actually, yeah, I do stretch, and maybe that stretch that you've taught me, I can add that onto my routine. People don't have routines.
And how often as men do we catch up and talk about stretching?
Yeah.
How often as men? Like seriously, like when was the last time you got together, apart from you were in your close group?
Yeah.
And you probably don't even talk about stretching then. When was the last time you got together with a bunch of guys that were 40, 50, 20, 30 and talked about not just, right, we're going to stretch, but just about stuff, let it flow. Like, you know, it doesn't happen in modern society. You know, we don't fucking talk about anything. We don't talk. We're disconnected and we're kind of in little groups. I go over here with my two mates because I trust them to keep my secrets. And we're this secret society now, which doesn't serve us.
Yeah, I think a lot of it was broken down by COVID. You know what I mean? There was this like thing of like, oh, I can't catch up with these people even if I want to because I'm going to get sick, or maybe their fucking mum is sick, or maybe their missus is sick, and rah. And now there's this like stigma after 2 years of doing that to people. They build this organic thing where they just like, fuck everyone. They could make me sick. They could kill my nana. Yeah. You know? And because of that, we've now changed these practices that we have. And I'm fighting against it with my skate group. Every Monday and Thursday, I'm there, rain, hail, or shine. I'm there whether I've got a runny nose or a hard dick. I'm not the hard dick, but...
I like that analogy, though.
I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm there. You know what I mean? And I'm there not for me. I'm there for the community. I'm there so that they have somewhere to belong on Mondays and Thursdays. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. No, I get it.
So I feel like the like this thing of people not having like, you say like, how often do you catch up with your mates and talk about stretching? Not a lot. But the amount that I just start stretching in front of my mates, regardless of how it looks, is all the time, so that I normalize it. Yeah.
I wasn't talking about your mates. I was talking about cross-pollinating with people you wouldn't normally catch up with.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like that's what we don't do in our society.
Yeah.
You know, we don't go, okay, let's go out and, you know, we got 5 guys and we're pretty cool and we stretch and stuff. Let's go and do a stretching. Let's just do stretching. Let's do a stretching demo for the community.
Okay.
You know, and not worry about what it looks like, but worry about how it lands, but more about how strongly it lands in our community, you know?
Well, I think we need to have a conversation about leaders, right? Because I think at the moment, like I'm in a way a social leader, I'm a thought leader, and like I've actualized that that's what I am, and I have a voice and I have an audience, so I need to watch.
I'm actually supposed to say that about you. You're not supposed to say that about yourself.
I know, but no, this is all part of the mental health thing.
You
because
narcissistic motherfucker.
I'm a piece of shit. All right, I'm a piece of shit with a 100-year plan.
He's talking. Right? Sorry about Pete. We're drinking the beer, and he's a narcissist, but that's good.
That's how I operate. But
let's do it again. Let's do that daggy shit again. Sorry about the cold hand.
But the like the reality behind, and I'm not saying that as in look at me. I'm saying that as like I'm starting to say things that are silly and smart and dumb, and people are going like, "Hang on, that was smart, but that was silly. Why'd you say hard dick with your grip? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then you have to go to that word that you were talking about before. What is it? Censorship.
Yes.
So I now have to self-censor myself in a way to go like, hey, people are listening. Say the thing that matters. Yeah. Say the thing that changes people, and say the thing that adds value to their life. Because if you just waste this, they're not going to keep listening to you.
I agree.
And if you say shit that doesn't help them, if they do keep following you, they're following the devil.
Yeah. Or distracts them from the actual,
from the shit,
the real thing.
Right?
Yeah.
So as a thought leader, as a social leader, I'm inviting other people that have that intuitive feeling that they are doing something that is the greater good, that does serve them and does serve the community and the people around them. It might be 2 people, it might be 200 people. That if you're in a group of people, if you're in front of a group of people and you feel like your quad is tight, stretch the bitch out and normalize it.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, I think what you're talking about in theory is great, but the practical spreading of knowledge that's important and useful comes from living the shit. People
100%.
believe me because I'm in the grind right now of building my business, and I'm like, they've seen me in a caravan 2 years ago, and they see me now starting to have little wins. They're like, fucking oath, right? So I think this isn't a thing of like, how do we start that conversation? I think this is how do we engage the future leaders and get them thinking about the things that get them on that path, and this ties into the mental health thing. It's like, How do we build these men and women so that they're confident enough to go, I stretch my legs?
And it has to come from us.
Yeah.
Straight up. It has to come from us. It can't come from them. It can't come from Albanese. It can't come from, those people. It has to come from us.
The people.
So, for instance, I'm doing a man walk, which I'd love you to come to on Saturday. So we're going to walk from Hungry Hollow to the Groin. So we're going to walk all the way along the beach to the Groin, and we're going to do a 10-minute silence at the end of the Groin. Just going to watch, we just stare out into the ocean, and not many white Australian males sit down and stare like some people do. But we're going to sit down, might be 20 of us, and we're going to stare into the ocean and just be in Bunbury and stare into the ocean and at the Groin.
Powerful.
Then we're going to walk back, and we're going to have 5 beers each. And by 4 o'clock, our wives or girlfriends will pick us up, and then we'll go home and we'll be the same. But we'll be connected.
Yeah, for sure.
And that connection is what we miss. You have your internal scream at the TV football connection, AFL or soccer or whatever it is, and you have your darts group or your golf guys, but you don't. So this walk's all about kind of going, okay, you're coming out of your groups, and we're just going to go for a walk. And when you walk, it's like you catch up with people and you start to talk to people, and you get this kind of like cross-pollination of stuff on the walk,
Community, that's
and
what's
a guy will
happening.
wander up and, and so you'll finish talking to that guy, he'll sit back and he'll come in. Yeah, you get this thing, right? It's indiscernible, it's undefinable, but we've been doing it in Dunsborough for a long time, for probably 10 years now, and we get 12 guys. It's not. We don't walk en masse, but something happens even at that level to pollinate into the community about crossing over.
Replace the words with skate group, and this is the experience I've had.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like I go down there, and I know their names. They know my name.
Yeah. You're going down there, and look, I really, I thought of a brand called Urban Christ about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to blow sunshine up your ass, because obviously you're sunning your ass tomorrow anyway.
Daily
you don't
for
need
30
it.
minutes, yeah.
For 30 seconds.
Legs over the
30
head.
seconds.
I go 30 minutes.
30, Jesus Christ, you're going to be in trouble.
I got the thing dark.
Yeah. My Lord.
I go for an equal skin tone from white to pink.
I can't go on.
See the picture?
Yeah. Cut. That's it. We're done.
Yeah, sorry, Peter.
Yeah, I need to get the chopper in.
Yeah.
But you go down to the skate park, and you bring in a certain set of values that they would normally have.
Yeah, we met at that too. I don't go to. We do go to the skate park, but we don't base ourselves around the skate park. But yeah.
Right. So you drink or whatever you do at VAT2, and then you just watch the skate park. Is that right?
Bro.
What do you do?
We're hands on. So every Monday and Thursday we meet at 5:30. Mondays we stay around the jetty road area, so it's all quite smooth. There's no hills.
Yeah.
Very chill. If you need advice, I'm never too far away. And then Thursdays we start at the same spot, but we do a whole lap of the inlet.
So what are you talking about here? I mean, what are you saying?
My skate group.
You got a skate group?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So every Monday and Thursday we do this.
Yeah.
And it's for roller skating, rollerblading, skateboarding, push bikes.
Okay.
E-scooters, whatever you want. As long as it's got wheels and you want to come hang out.
Wow.
And on Mondays, it's just, we get total beginners, people that have put skates on for the first time in 30 years, bought these from the shop, I want to give them a shot.
Wow.
Come down. And then Thursdays, if you can skate 5 kilometres, we do a full lap of the inlet, and then get food at like Grillers or Paddy's or Droolies or Last Slice, whatever's good on the night. And we just all have like a feed together, which is breaking bread together, which is also a thing. It's a ritual, And I'm over a year. My mate started it, and then he ended up moving to Perth, and I kind of took it over about 6 months in, and we're about a year after that now.
Wow.
And outside of being in a committed relationship, it's been the thing that served me the most by far.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, we're finding out stuff about each other all the time. Right.
But yeah, it's fucking, it's bizarre, and exactly what you're talking about. There's something about, like, it's not like the first time you meet someone, you're like, oh, my name's Jake. It's like the 10th time you're having a conversation about, oh, so how's that thing you were dealing with at work? Oh, well, I had this and this and this happen. No shit. Oh, yeah. And I had this person come in. I know that person. Really? How'd you meet them? Bro, those interconnected threads that are going on in the background between you and this person that you never would have had anything to do with otherwise are what gives you value and fiber in your life.
And one of the things that I have come to be quite present with is the fact that we, as humans, as a protective device, because we've had wars and risk and all that kind of stuff. We judge so readily.
Yeah.
We're so quick to judge. You get that?
100%.
And that's one of the worst problems we can have. We don't sit in other people's stuff. We just judge them.
Yeah.
Put them in a box, and they're done with. You know.
Yeah.
And I do it all the time. I mean, like I do it, and it's the worst side of what you can do. But if you stop judging, you know,
there's got to be somewhere in the middle, doesn't there? Because the judging element of being a human is a thing that keeps you away from danger. You know, like you see, like, that particular characteristic in that person lets me know that they're into this activity, or they're into this way of thinking, or this way of acting.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be involved with that.
No.
You know, you see a junkie walking up to you, you're like, this person's probably going to try and get my money somehow.
Yeah, but it's habitual. It's too addictive.
Yeah.
It's like everything else. It's addictive to be judgmental. You know.
I think one thing to keep in mind is like, it's not like there's this like everyone should be less judgmental and the world would be better. That's not the case.
No.
We live in a different landscape now.
Yeah.
We live in a place where like a higher percentage than usual of people are homeless. They do have mental health issues. They do have drug issues. And like, you know, you can't just be judge free and let the crackhead walk up and be like, oh yeah, here's $50. They're like, give me the keys to your car, and you give them the keys to your car.
Yeah, yeah.
You still need a judge. That judging is a tool.
100%.
But
you need to hear that judging voice.
That's right. To actualize that voice that you're hearing that's going like, oh, they've got shitty shoes, don't talk to them. It's like, really, like, that's not my voice.
Yeah.
That's a devil on my shoulder trying to sway me one way or the other.
Yeah. You're not a television guy, are you?
Nah.
Wish you were, because we could really have some fun.
You want to talk about shit that other people made? Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm a fan of high quality TV art. Let's call that.
Oh yeah.
So there's a you've heard of a thing called The Office, right?
Wait, the US or the UK?
No, US isn't even.
Bro, suck my dick and balls. I love the US.
Yeah,
I watch it every night.
See, that's your problem. We can't be friends anymore.
Dude, I literally have watched that like every season, every episode over 20 times.
Well, have you seen the English version?
I haven't.
Could you?
For our next podcast?
Yeah, because I want you to speed watch it before we have the next one, which is next week, basically, by the way.
Yeah, by regularity, that's about right, eh?
So let's have a comfortable silence. I'm going to do a...
Do it near the mic so they get all the auditory...
Oh, God. ASMR. Can you stop that? That was weird. Good weird. Yeah.
It's like the truck Jake break.
Okay, so this is... Yes. This is
practicing it for years.
My God. Your gag reflex must be just almost non-existent. So hazy pale ale by
Froth
Bunbury. So here we go. Can you describe what we're doing?
Pouring a...
My God, the pineapple is just honestly
stoned over. Have you got the same as me?
Yeah, no, no, you've got the what do you call it again? That's the
hazy pale ale. This hazy pale ale.
Stoned over.
Refreshing fruit bomb is a medium-bodied ale fermented with verdant yeast, verdant yeast, and dry.
You're flunking your mother tongue, mate.
Hey?
You're flunking your mother tongue.
And dry hopped with Galaxy.
So yeah, how's that? So I'm smelling, right? Pineapple, like real pineapple, just bang, right? And then I'm getting tobacco.
Pineapple tobacco. Let's go.
Yeah, Steve. I just called Peter Steve.
Let's go.
This is what alcohol's about, right?
Oi, thanks, Dan. I appreciate all your work.
Dan and the boys from Froth Brewery. Thanks, Peter. This has been great.
This is fucking cool. Like,
Do you like the labelling? I love the cans.
Yeah, brewed at our second venue, Froth Craft Bunbury, where we specialise in mouthfuls. That's such a great tagline.
Don't you love that? Can you talk to camera? I've got to do what you did last week.
Take two pisses in a row.
No, I just got to do one little wee.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I don't piss, I wee.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Where is it?
Subtle flex. Yeah, just outside. You'll be right. Go supervise, Lou. Go on. You got it.
I'll be back.
All right.
Oh, God.
Oh, this is so much more fun than the stout. This is like that's like a summer afternoon drink. That's sick. Like a Sunday summer afternoon drink. You've gone out for probably about 2 dozen drinks the night before. and you've woken up and you're like, fuck me, I didn't even drink any water before I went to sleep, but we're here now. Pop a couple paracetamol, you have some toast, you wander around the house, you cancel any sort of plans that you made last night on the piss, naturally. And then you're like, all right, what are we going to do? You move the mattress out in front of the couch, smoke a couple hot ones, medicinally, put on some, you know, fucking nonchalant goodness like The Simpsons or maybe even like South Park or Family Guy, something you don't really have to think about and has a punchline every now and then that can make you feel good about yourself. And then, you know, one of your boys is like, should we go to the Sunday sesh? And you think, I'm not a guy who goes to the Sunday sesh, but today I will. You go there, what the fuck? They got froth on tap. And then you just get yourself a froth stoned over. You take your glass back to the table and you just start sipping and you think, you know, this is exactly what I fucking needed. This is exactly what the doctor ordered. Next thing you know, you're 3 pints deep. The mate that invited you there, he's gone home, right? You're talking to some stranger that you met about half an hour ago, and they're telling you all about like fucking metal density or some shit that you're just like, oh yeah. If you weren't hungover, and especially if you hadn't had 3 of these stoned over 1.3 standard drinks, guessing 5% bloody schooners, pints. But since you're here, you do hear them out and you're like, oh, I love metal density. That's so interesting. Tell me more about that. And then they get up to take a piss. You call your missus. She picks you up. Bob's your uncle. Go to sleep. Wake up Monday morning. Fresh as a daisy. Froth Bunbury. Thanks for coming.
Well done. That sounded amazing. I can't believe the capacity of the human... Can't believe the capacity of the human bladder to hold that much liquid.
Can't believe we nailed 64 ounces of fucking stout.
Is that 64 ounces?
Yeah. Dude.
No.
That's nuts.
I'm so happy for you right now.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I haven't drunk this much alcohol in months.
That's amazing. And you know what? Stout has that lovely buzz. I mean, you can hardly get out of the chair, but you're lucid still.
I feel like it's that lovely buzz that when I stand up, no matter how many steps I take, I'm going to rip all the cords out of the wall.
Yeah.
Somehow, you know?
Yeah. Just take them with you.
I'm so excited for Riz to come home.
Yeah.
It's like, how are you? I'm like, I'm good, love. How are you?
There's no way I'm making love at all tonight. Actually,
yeah.
It's funny because like stout, when I was 30, when I used to drink stout, it would actually make you last longer and perform and feel better about having sex.
Dude, that's like cocaine.
Yeah.
It'd
be nice to infuse some cocaine into some stout at some stage too.
Dude, cocaine will make you last heaps longer.
Oh God, I didn't know that.
Yeah, heaps longer. You just never finish.
Oh God.
Yeah. It's the worst sort of torment, you know what I mean?
I'm just thinking about the bruising for the poor, you know.
Yeah, well, if we had that 8-inch scenario, yeah, it would be bruising, but
yeah,
I guess she'd just be left with disappointment and no cum shot in my situation.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That one's for free, by the way. The next one I will invoice you for.
What's that?
Huh?
For the jokes. And one thing I've liked about meeting you is that I get to learn some new stuff.
It's weird, you know, because being 30, I'm actually kind of out of it already.
Yeah.
You know, like the real in it is 14 to like 21.
Yeah.
And then you slowly get out of it. And you know you're completely out of it the first time you go to Fitzy's and you look around, you're like, oh, no one knows me. But I'm the black ink guy, so some people know me.
Yeah, right, okay.
So I get to keep up by proxy almost. But you know, like, this is the thing as well. Culture's weird because culture is one of those things where, like, as soon as you grasp it and you kind of understand it, it changes again.
And that's the nature of it, right? That's evading adults.
The exact point of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, and like, as soon as it doesn't make sense to you, you've got too far away from it. You know? And like, it's funny because I was watching this thing the other day talking about jokes of whatever generation it is now. Is it Gen Z? Say?
Oh, I wouldn't have a clue.
Like, jokes of Gen Z aren't funny. That's the whole point of a Gen Z joke, is that it's not funny. It's that it's on the bare, like, outskirts of comedy, but the reality is it isn't funny. And the fact that it isn't funny makes it funny.
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So now, we're in a whole new fucking conversation of what comedy is. Because at the end of the day, culture, in my opinion, comes down to comedy, right? It comes down to the ability, and I think probably not comedy, it's probably the idea to activate a particular like activate an immediate response out of whether it's language or art or something that's visual or something that's like, visual and moving, that's not just like a still image. So it's like comedy's a very easy way to represent culture, because it's like the language of the young people typically is outlined by the words they're using to identify things like cool and hip and rah rah rah.
Yeah.
And it's their ability to communicate that in a way that's meaningful to the next person. Typically that's through things of passion or through comedy. So if you look at the things that are funny, typically you can follow culture fairly accurately.
Yeah. How do you define funny though? Because you haven't even seen The Office. English
I
version.
define funny as things that like make you laugh.
Yeah. No.
You know?
That's strange that you said that.
Like it's just one of those
Things that make you laugh.
No, because like you go, comedy is this thing. Like comedy is like I set up a punchline, I have the punchline, there's a joke, and you laugh. But comedy for me is like things where I've put little Easter eggs in this podcast that we're recording right now that are for one person.
Have you?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
You sly fucker.
I've got inside jokes with everyone, so it's like you keep on.
I'm not the butt of one of them. I'm, not
never.
at my expense.
I wouldn't do that.
It's
to
so
you.
bad. I'd hate that. Yeah, I'll get you back
Oh, I welcome it.
because I'm really cool for 56.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said 50 something. Now I know you're 56.
Nah. So there's a little. God. Thanks a lot, Peter.
Thanks, Peter.
Yeah.
Appreciate
cheers.
it.
Thanks for the slur. It was nice. And we're only,
We're only 64 ounces and 3 cans in.
only an afternoon beer, which is a lot for you though.
Dude, I'm fucking written off.
Yeah.
In the category right now, I'm at the far end.
Bruce is going to have such a good time when she gets home. He's like,
Yeah,
hi,
yeah.
honey. What are you hungry? No.
No.
No, I'm not hungry.
Hungry for stout.
Yeah,
baby.
hungry
Let's
for
go.
you, Riz.
Yeah.
God, she's actually quite a good-looking woman.
I'm the luckiest guy in the world.
Yeah, we're both. I mean, my wife's hot.
Dude, my wife's hotter.
God, I don't believe you.
Nah, she's not my wife yet.
She's not your wife.
Nah.
Oh, wow.
I told you, we haven't even had the girlfriend-boyfriend conversation. We just made an agreement right at the start. If there's ever a morning you wake up and you don't want to keep doing it with me.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I think it's important that you're there for the right reasons.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I had come out of a fucking horrible relationship. Like, just a fucking total narcissist,
You didn't like him?
No.
It's a joke.
And the one before him was even worse.
Yeah. All those guys I've dated, I hated. Yep. Okay.
But I was in a situation where I'm like, I just nothing against you personally, but just I can't handle a relationship, and I don't want to define anything because then it comes with this whole set of rules. I just want to like, if I want to hang out with you, I'll hang out with you. If I don't, I don't.
Yeah.
And that served us for 5 years so far.
So can I ask you a bit? What's Riz's background? Where was she born?
She's a Bunbury girl.
Bunbury girl. Okay. And she's how old?
She's 24.
I love it. So you're an older man.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm 30 and she's 24. And
You look about 26 though. You're not an old.
yeah, I only just started growing facial hair.
You've done that.
Yeah.
Tick.
Yeah. Well, now I'm on this shit where I wear sunscreen every day because apparently that stops the effect of like, obviously like it protects you from the sun, but it's the sun. It's small amounts of sunburn repetitively that ages you, that creates all of these lines.
That's why I went wrong. God. Yeah.
I thought it was spending time in the sun that kept you young.
Yeah. So I've got so many wrinkles on my ass at the moment. Like
Oh yeah.
We're back there again.
There
right?
we go. It's like a screwed up piece of paper with a black hole in the middle.
Who's gonna watch this? What not doesn't worry me, but I'm interested in who's gonna watch this.
Dude,
we got 4 followers or something, haven't you?
Oh yeah, 4.
5 after today because I'm so popular.
Dude, I've only got like 200 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's crazy, like this really speaks to
God, there's pineapple all over that. Sorry, this really speaks to. Yeah.
Let me smell yours.
My beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, we're dude, it was the same. It all smells like alcohol, bro.
Yeah, but no, you can't smell pineapple on that.
Fuck no.
Anyway, this really speaks. Sorry. So anyway, this really speaks to.
Dude, I got 4,000 followers on Instagram, 250 followers on YouTube, and 1,600 followers on TikTok, and like 1,200 followers on Facebook.
That's really cool.
It's cool. The point is though, like, I don't speak to that many people, right? But I am completely like living a life based off the sales that I can make on those platforms.
Yeah.
By communicating what I do.
Yeah.
And like lead acquisition is typically through social media, right? I think one thing that people get caught up on, and this is, I'm answering a question that nobody asked, but I know it's topical. A lot of people find themselves like, oh, I'm not creative, I'm not this person, I'm not someone who does that sort of thing because I don't have an audience. If one person listens to your shit and it's your mum, you're an artist, you're a creator. You did it. You've got the first one.
Yeah, I get that.
And when you get number 2, now you've got 2 people. And like the podcast that I was on last weekend, like there was fucking 1,000 people. There is 1,000 people listening to that on average every episode.
Yeah, right.
I've probably got about 100 people listening to mine every episode.
Yeah, podcasts are the future.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it can't be boring.
No.
And I think we're not boring.
No.
You're not boring.
No, we've done it again. We've shot from the hip without calling anyone fucking 100 years old.
Yeah, what's 1,000 divided by 12? Remember that one?
I do. That's a little joke just for us.
It still makes me laugh, actually. Yeah. I really want to tell you, I really want to put that into context, but we're not going to.
Nah, fuck no.
That would be
Did you have one of those moments where you were just like, oh my God?
No.
No?
I went home and I said to Sam, this is what we said, and she said, right, that's it. We're pulling it.
Oh, she's the mediator.
Oh, she's the boss.
Yeah, true.
Women are the boss. Women, like Talking Heads lyric, right?
Yeah.
The world moves on a woman's hips. The world moves and it swivels and hops. The world moves on a woman's hips. The world moves and it bounces and hops. Right? It's called the Great Curve.
Yeah.
Right? Women rule the world, and why not? It's nice to be ruled by women.
Yeah.
Then we're not killing each other.
Yeah.
It's all about the power of the yoni and this beautiful energy they have. Like,
Nature is a feminine energy.
I got goosebumps, man.
Mother Nature.
Yeah. If we're left up to us blokes, we'd be scratching our ass and punching each other in the head and
sunning our
shut
assholes.
Up. Well, yeah, that's a good thing though. Why don't we sun our assholes soon, together?
Oh, now it's a group expedition.
Just 2.
Let's get the boys together. Come round, boys. No. Trust me when you get there. Well, what do I need to wear? Nothing. Just come. You'll be right.
Nothing. Now wear something loose so you can take off easily.
Or the fucking yoga pants with the bloody butthole cut out of it, just so you get the specific, the directed.
Look, there's a product.
The intentional.
There's a product.
Sunning.
So you can be in Sweden in the middle of winter and a bit of sun comes out. You'd have to take all your clothes off.
Wow.
Hello.
Little Velcro patch just fucking rips off. Now we're talking. Dude, business.
Yeah, but that's a dongle, isn't it? That's a widget, right?
A dongle.
Wait, what's a dongle?
With the removable dongle in the bottom.
Oh, I tell you, look, we could be drinking any alcohol in the world, right? But we're not. We're drinking bloody Froth. Brewery, amazing. I can't believe you can't smell that bloody pineapple. It's just there. You're not sniffing. You're drinking.
As long as you're having fun, that's all that matters. All right.
Oh yeah, crayon eating motherfucker. I've heard that one. Yeah.
You having fun?
Licking windows.
You having fun?
Yeah, great. I can't wait till it's over though, and we
we
can get on to the next one.
We were onto something just now.
Yeah.
Fuck, what was it?
I don't know. Maybe you should ask me a question.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Let's talk about me for a bit.
Oh yeah. I forgot that. Yeah, you're guesting on the Black Ink podcast.
Oh.
Yeah. Hey.
My wife Samantha's here.
Huh?
My wife Samantha's here.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, we got to go.
Really? Did she message you?
Yeah.
So I don't trust you since you fucked me
here.
at the beginning. Now we're at the end.
If she walks in, that'll be cool, won't it? She said here to pick you up, just at the park around the corner.
Bro.
That's weird.
She should definitely walk in to fucking finish
Yeah,
the
yeah.
podcast.
Yeah,
That's
100%.
hilarious.
Yeah,
Just let yourself in the gate.
Yeah.
Come in and be ready with an outro for the podcast.
Yeah. Come. So you give me the script. Come.
No. I need something organic.
Should I just ring her?
No. Message her to come in and just say, hey, we just need you to close out the podcast. Have something prepared. No big deal. It has to be great.
Yeah.
Louis, come here. Come here, please.
I had a nice time, by the way. Actually.
I said this when we finished the last podcast. I think you and I could have an ongoing podcast of just you and I talking shit.
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that's the thing that we should do, but I feel like you and I could just talk shit once a week or once a fortnight and talk about things that are topical, and it would be fucking...
Yeah. I mean, instead of just catching up.
Yeah.
like just one-on-one, and without that.
Yeah.
Because like when you have that,
It's different.
It gets you, there's a buzz going on,
Yeah.
and you know that people are hearing it, and maybe learning something.
Yeah.
So-
Maybe. Yeah.
And maybe learning something you don't want to learn.
Yeah.
Especially
What'd
off
you learn
you.
today? Well, Jake's had a vasectomy for 7
Yeah.
years, and the way
Yeah.
he got his done.
Troy suns his ass. He can't grab his ankles, but he can sun his ass. Like I'm like that. It's like
I don't lay on my back. I do it on all fours and point it right up.
Fuck, I just got a cramp. I never get a cramp there.
Yeah, it's part of the podcast.
I think it's tight.
Here we go.
I think it's tight, bloody tight underpants.
Yeah.
Is that Sam?
Next time, run no underpants.
No, it can't be her.
either.
She can't be that quick. She said she was in a park around the corner.
Yeah, surely. How are you?
Come in.
I'm not closing up the podcast.
No, come on. Come in.
Not closing out the podcast.
No.
We've spoken about you the entire podcast.
Yeah. So, come in. I have to go, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll wrap up now.
Yeah. Wrap it.
Radio. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening. Thanks again, Pete from Froth Brewery. Don't forget to go and check them out on Victoria
Thanks,
Street.
Pete.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming because we are fucking out. Yo!